Hey, hey peeps! Welcome in. It's me, Pigeon Wishes, your resident pigeon fae from the UK, and welcome back to Paranormasight, the Mermaid's Curse. So, starting off before we get into it, and what ads are running, I, off-stream, did some more of the diving minigame, because I wanted to, because it was annoying me that it wasn't like blacked out like the other fully completed ones are, and like I thought that there wouldn't be anything else to that minigame. There wasn't really. There's one or two things I'm going to show you once we get into the game. Hopefully I can get the one thing to activate again. But like, yeah, I just basically went around, completely filled out the level up system for that section of the diving minigame off stream, so that you guys didn't have to watch me grind it out. And also went and collected all of the bird stickers, because there were bird stickers in the ocean. How the fuck they got there, and how the fuck they're still in the ocean? Question mark. Hi Mura! Ooh, you almost a VIP! How far away are you, hun? Also, hi Mort. Hi Mura, hi Mort. Yeah, so off stream, I did about an hour or two more of the diving minigame. I found some stuff to show you guys, because there was something really fucking creepy that I noticed on the edge of the map. Hopefully I can get that to show up again. Ooh, you have 41,923. Ooh, you're really close. You're really close to VIP. I wish... Is there a way for me to make a special VIP badge? Because I would do that. I would make a special VIP badge. But I don't think there is there? You just kind of get, like, the base VIP badge. That's a shame. I'd love to give, like, a special badge to my VIP members. Oh well. Oh well, I also think you should be able to customize the mod badge. That's my hot take. Yeah, VIP has become my minion. You become my minion. You become Pigeon's minion. Become my minion. Yeah, I've got Become My Minion, and then I have Return to the Human Realm for about double the points of Become My Minion. And Return to the Human Realm, for those who don't know, is like an instant end stream. I finish stream as soon as you click it. Like, maybe just to say goodnight to everyone and then I finish. I wanted there to be some, like, funny ha-has for the people who have been here a very long time. Which is why Become My Minion is 1 point away from 50,000, and you need 100,000 to end the stream. Honestly, I might lower the price of Pick a Game. That one seems like it should be less. I need to mess with my points and stuff. Because some of these things, like, I feel like I need to up the price of some of them and lower the price of others. But oh well. So yeah. Okay, I'm just going to get into the game. I'm going to get into the game and hope that I can show off this thing I found yesterday. Because, like, this thing I found yesterday was creepy as shit. So we're starting with the fishing minigame. I promise we'll get back into the actual story. I just need you guys to see this fucking creepy ass thing I found. Help I am on the water. Right, where did I find it? That's gonna be the trouble now, is remembering where I found it. I think... I wanna say... it was somewhere, like... if I can get it to show up again. There it is! Look at this creepy ass fucking thing! Guys, look at this fucking thing! Did you see that? I saw that the other week. Or not the other week, like yesterday. While I was just wandering around trying to find abalone to like level up really quickly. That's a fucking curse. That's what the curses look like in this game. So like, question mark, why the fuck is there a curse? Off the borders of the map. There's just a fucking curse hanging out off the borders of the map. That's one of the creepy things I wanted to show you. There was another creepy thing I wanted to show you that I found while wandering around down here. That I didn't do anything with because I wanted to do it on stream. You see that orange question mark over there? That's where we're going. Yeah, it was so fucking creepy. It had a Henya mask. Right, this is the other thing I found. And I'm like, what is this? And is doing this gonna do something? Like, I feel like that's got to affect something, right? Okay, that's the two things I found in the fishing minigame that I wanted people to see. The fact that there was the fucking literal, there's like a literal curse just hanging out off the borders of the map that randomly spawns, because it wasn't there every time. I was like, I'm so glad that we saw it this time for the first go, because like, I did like about 100 dives yesterday to fully complete that level up, and like I only saw it once. So the RNG on that, either it only shows up the first time you dive and see it, and then it doesn't show up again until you reload, or it like is completely random and it's just really low RNG. That's fucking crazy. We got that on the first chance of me trying to show off what where I saw it. But it's so fucking crazy, right? Because like it's got a mask on, a Henya mask from Kabuki Theatre. And then it's also got like ribbons going on with it. I think it had a fish body. So like we don't know what curse that is. But I know that's what the curses look like because that's vaguely like a similar art style to how they did the curses in the first game. That's fucking crazy. That's just hanging out there and you could completely miss it. That's crazy. That's so cool though. I wish that I hadn't seen it immediately. Like after, in the first lot I did swimming after I finished stream, because it would have been so much more entertaining for you guys to see me get fucking jump scared by that. So there's something in this one we've got to do still. I just want to do some cleanup before we get to the next part. So so we know of 3 curses right now. We know of a curse that's like a samurai who's cutting people in half. Yeah, I think it's either an Easter egg or it's hashtag spoilers for the future. So kind of like, I know, I guess that would be an Easter egg, but it's not an Easter egg to an outside thing in the game. It's an Easter egg to something that's going to happen later in the game. So foreshadowing. Foreshadowing. That's the word I'm looking for. It's foreshadowing, I think. Because that could either be the ocean, the one that's going to cause the ocean to, like, explode. Or whatever the fuck the Great Waves one is going to do. Or it's the one that turns people into fish. It could be either of those 2 curses, that one. I'm inclined to believe, my personal theory, is that it's probably the one that turns people into fish. Because it had like a mask face connected with like a lure, and then the body, you can't see it very well because it's very like blends in very well with the ocean, but its body was a fish, so I mean it looked kind of like an anglerfish, kind of, so I'm like inclined to believe it might be the one that turns people into fish, but there might be more curses we don't know about yet. But man, just look at you. How did you improve so much in that short time? You're basically a pro level now. Wasn't expecting you to pick up things that quickly. Like I said, bringing with confidence. But it's also because you were there. Thanks, Azumi. Didn't do much, but I appreciate it. So, you feel any different now? Undergo any weird changes? No, I feel exactly the same. Nothing's changed. I'm the same old user I've always been. Guess we're a bit off the mark, eh? So you want to know now? Go now. Should we call it a day? Let's go back immediately, because we didn't pick that option last time. You got it. Catch him report. Here we come. Oh, this is different. This is different. Okay, this is a different route. Because this all didn't happen last time. When we sat and chatted with him about the hole. So there was another route. I wonder what of those is going to be the good one. Hey user, I took your cat to the market while you were changing. Thanks, I appreciate it. It was a seriously impressive haul for you. Or first dive. The old guys in the market looked like their eyes were gonna pop out. Oh! I think this dialogue is all because I completed the level ups and got max level on that level. Okay. So it does change things then. I was under the assumption that it wouldn't. Your status as a Kamishima's patron saint of diving sure ain't just for show. Okay, that's enough of that. Carting all to and thanks for carting all that to the market by yourself. There you are, Azumi. Don't tell me you're fishing it today. Oh, it's an old lady. Oh, gee, how's your back doing? Not going to get any better lounging around at home, that's for sure. More importantly, no one's meant to be in boats right now because of the storm that's on the way. Don't tell me you didn't hear. Yeah, but it was more of a warning roll, and the weather looked fine, so I figured it was okay. You should know better than that, Azumi. You young'uns never listen, do you? Chitomoya, veteran ama diver. I'm going out with the Minky. Gucci boy of all people. Actually, Azumi only took me out on this boat because I asked him to help me out with my work. Wait, damn second, don't tell me you went out to dive. Why'd you ask? I did, but why'd you ask? I'm not allowed to be an ama diver? Absolutely not. I will not allow it. What? Why? He was a member of the association, same as everyone else. As long as he follows the rules, it should be fine, right? Sure, it's rare for guys to become ama divers, but it's not like it's forbidden or anything. That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm saying he shouldn't be allowed in the sea. It's obscene is what it is. Everyone agreed to put up with him being on the island for Suyu's sake. But now he gets in his head to go diving all of full things. You know sense, boy. Seems like I'll have to have a few words with Suyu. You not knowing your place is gonna cause everyone trouble. Listen up, Minakuchi boy. You better keep your head down and stay put on dry land where you belong. No more diving, you hear? Hey now, you don't think that's going a bit far? There's no need to lay in the user like that. Azumi. What? You really don't think anything of all this, after what his mother did? No, not at all. User hasn't done anything wrong. He was a victim of the disaster too, maybe more than anyone else. Recently, there's been this strange rumbling coming from the sea. The same rumbling as 5 years ago. Everyone's scared that what might be coming. They're bracing themselves for another big disaster. Oh, is that what you meant by a storm? Weather forecasting said things are going to stay calm for a bit, though. To hell with the weather forecast, it didn't save us 5 years ago. Anyway, you see where you gotta stay in the God of the Sea's good graces. Not doing nothing to upset him, got it? Don't let it get you down, user. She ain't a bad person at heart, but old folks here are pretty firm in their beliefs, I guess. Yeah, it's only natural. I was kind of expecting it, to be honest. Still, I didn't think she'd get that mad. Guess they have a bigger chip on their shoulders about all this than I thought. Seems like they really think your mom was to blame for the disaster. Yeah. Guess wanting to get to the bottom of things there was only one of my reasons for becoming an armor diver. Yeah, everyone's been avoiding the topic until now, but it can't go on forever. Hey, you two. Oh, it's Kikyo. Yeah, you two over there. Could I get some help with these boxes? I need to get them to the warehouse. Local armor diver, Kikyo Tsugi. She's pretty. She's very pretty. Everyone, why are there so many pretty people in this game? Why are there so many fucking pretty people in this game? That's unfair. To me, specifically. It's unfair to me specifically that there's so many fucking pretty people in this game. Like, what am I supposed to do about this information? She's so pretty. And I like her hair. Pretty woman. The facial scar, or the birthmark, or facial scar, or whatever she's got going on adds to it. Also, something about this specific outfit is incredibly attractive. Something about white, like, short sleeve top, rolled up into a vest top, very attractive. With the jean shorts, girls fucking I'm going insane, I am going feral, I am going feral, I am going feral, I am going feral. Phew, thanks. I know I could rely on you young'uns to help out. Young'uns? You're young'un too, Kikyo. Oh, kind. Pretty sure you're the only ones who'd say that, though. I was told out of nowhere to make sure anything valuable was stowed away, just in case the storm hits. What a pain. So you're getting ready for the storm too? Yeah, pretty silly when the weather's this good, huh? Not like you'd say no, though. Speaking of pains, I heard Chi giving you an earful just now. Are you seriously planning on becoming an armor diver user? Well, that was the plan, but it's looking like I might be forced into retirement before I even begin. Why now? Didn't you come back here to look after Suya? Yeah, but I still have to work, and I've always been interested in armor diving. Gran was also pretty down about no longer being able to dive, so I thought it might cheer her up a bit. So you want to follow in Suya's footsteps? So you must have noticed that everyone was on edge just the thought of you coming back here. If they hear you went diving, they'll likely be a bit of an uproar. They are still really that set against user going in the sea. I've never heard of anyone saying anything like that. Well, don't say it where you can hear it. Everyone loves you here, and they know you're close with user. They probably feel that they can't be tough with you around. What was that? Oh, never mind. Forget I said anything. I can't deny there's been this creepy rumbling coming from the sea recently, though. It's no wonder everyone's unnerved. If some sort of disaster does end up happening again and Yusa gets caught up doing something he wasn't meant to, that'll probably be it for him. Yeah, that's what I don't get. Do people seriously believe Yusa's mom caused that storm? Everyone suffered because of it, including Yusa's family. This is so stupid. Hey, I honestly think it's stupid too. But the truth is, there's a bunch of people who believe it, so making a fuss about it isn't gonna get you anywhere, right? Besides, even if the storm doesn't come, a different kind of storm may already be brewing. A different kind of storm? Well, you shouldn't have any trouble if you keep your head down. Just be good and do what you're told. No one get in your case, yeah? Give me a break. Why is he gonna keep his head down here? He was born and raised on Kamishima, just like everyone else. Hey, getting mad at me won't change anything. If it upsets you that much, why don't you leave? Leaving a place like this behind might be for the best, don't you think? Maybe, but I can't just ask my gran to move somewhere else at her age. Then you'll just have to put up with it. If you want to blame anyone, blame your mom. Did mom even do anything 5 years ago? No one will tell us anything. No idea. I only came back here after the disaster, so I don't know what happened at the time. Mr. Wakamura always seems like he knows more than he's letting on, though. Now that I think about it, why don't you just ask Suyu what she knows? Suyu? I've already asked Gran about it countless times. She says she doesn't know anything. And you don't think that's a bit suspicious? If anyone knows anything, it'd be her, right? You might be right. She's pretty hard to read. I wouldn't be able to tell if she was hiding something anyway. Anyway, I do feel bad for you, but you just gotta grin and bear it for everyone's sake, eh? Thanks for the help, you two. Trust our trouble, okay? Kikyo really seemed like she didn't know anything, huh? But folks are way more on edge than I thought. Yeah, I've gotten the sense that I'm not exactly welcome here ever since I came back. But I didn't think of trying to make a living here would lead to so much backlash. I didn't realise everyone disliked my mum so much that they were suspicious of her. Seems like the timing wasn't great either. Everyone's round up about these ill omens that are happening right now. Still, I'm sure now that my mum must have had some sort of secret. I'm almost certain it had to do with what I'm looking into. If everyone hears that I went diving today, it might prompt people to start talking about what happened 5 years ago. True. Then there's any time to ask about your mom. It's now. I think we should see what the old man Wakamura and Suyu have to say about all this too. Yeah, assuming Gran agrees to talk about it. Okay. We got more information. Oh, and that adjusted where things are on the timeline too. Like, so this happened. Because the thing with the timeline is, at the moment, we don't know what happened where. But that means that these happened at the same time as this. So while they're all busy doing this... No, that can't be right. Yeah, that can't be right. Unless this is going to move along the timeline. No, because this happens before this. But they rock up on the island. Huh, what is the timeline here? I've just realised things are a little bit more confusing than I thought. Because this point in the timeline has to happen before all of this. Hi, Jubis. Welcome in, hun. I'm trying to figure out timeline shenanigans at the moment. Because, like, this... Why is her name Red as well? I don't think he's explained why her name, whereas Yumiko Shiki's name is Red. Nobody else's name is Red. Yeah, she's not psychic, but she has the pretty psychic with her. The pretty psychic is her sidekick. Let's start with this one. Maybe? Maybe? You missed it, by the way, Junie. I got the thing that I told you about last night to happen again. I'll have to, like, clip it in the VOD to show you. Because it was fucking creepy. It was really creepy. I'm, like, entirely sure... I'm of the opinion that it's the curse to do with, like, turning people into a fish. Yes, I mean Mort's pretty boy. Mort's calling him Pretty Boy 3. The fish curse, the curse that turns you into a fish. Hey, Azumi, over here. Good timing, I just got back too. Well, so Gaza, how'd it go? Oh, she's an amateur diver too. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. Check this out, 2 whole scallops. Seriously, Sukasa? Don't get bragging rights for picking up 2 measly scallops. I sure do. That was hard work. You should be praising me. Say, Yuza, how many scallops did you get in the first dive again? 55, I think? No way, are you kidding me? Guess there's a good reason why you call the patron saint of diving. Oh, dang it. Now my cover's blown. That'll teach me to snag every scallop I see. Anyway, Sukasa, don't let this get you down. You'll improve over time. Man, I've been diving way longer than you, and you're better than me already. Some people are just born to be amateur divers. You ask me, all that matters is that everyone made it back safe and sound. True, you always know the best thing to say, Sato. But for the record, I wouldn't have preferred a bigger haul of scallops. Then we could have had a feast. Guess I've seen that should have seen that come in. So, what's the plan for today? Remember, Sukasa, it's up to you. Right, we promised we'd do whatever you wanted today. You name it, we'll make it happen. Now that's more like it. Let's see, first of all, I want us to go for a swim in the sea. Oh, that sounds great. Can't even remember the last time we did something like that just for fun. Right? I want us to forget work. I think it did actually count how many we picked up. I was gonna leave that. But I think it actually did count how many scallops I picked up individually. Meaning that in off-stream, I'd picked up, including what you saw me do on stream and off-stream, I'd managed to pick up about 55 scallops in total, I think. That's fucking funny. That's so fucking funny that it actually counts. I didn't tell you, oh yeah, I picked up like 55 scallops total. But it didn't tell you how many abalone and stuff I was picking up. Or like how many ume, or how many of the lobsters I picked up. Because I picked up a lot of stuff. You saw how long I spent diving yesterday, June. I messaged, you saw me leave the message, and then pretty much immediately after I got confirmation from people that it'd be fine, I like had that thing happen, told you about it. And then I pretty much finished after that because it didn't take very long to level up actually. I spent like about an hour on it, I want to say. You know what, that's fair though. I feel like I don't need to grind off screen if we get another one, which I feel like we're going to. Because like, it wasn't actually that long. And I don't want to like, I want people to get my first reactions if I see the fucking ghosts in the water again. Because it's fun showing you guys that I found a thing while off stream. But I think it'd be more fun if you'd have seen how fucking jump scared I got by it. Right, I want us to forget work and just enjoy the sparkling sea for a change. I even brought a new swimsuit for this. You've got one picture out too, right, Sato? Sure do. Then after that, when it gets dark, let's set off some fireworks. Fireworks. And then let's have a barbecue on the beach and cook up everything we caught today. Sounds like a plan. Just leave it to us. Everyone ready? Let's do this. See? They're all such good eggs. Yeah, there's a shark and it's coming this way. Better watch out, Azumi. It's a close one, Azumi. What the heck? I'm a good swimmer, but there's no way I can good enough to swim a shark. It's okay, I'll keep it pinned down. Just get out of here while you can. And here, take this fin as something to remember me by. Keep it with you, always. Sorry, user, I don't really dig shark fin that much. My heart. Look at the sea, it's like there are diamonds on the surface. It really sparkles, huh? It sure is pretty.
Aw, that shark is pretty cool. I should have picked a shark instead of the life buoy. But he's having such a blast, I can't bring myself to ask for a ride on it.
This is so fucking cute. They're such good friends. This is so cute. I fucking love her. Suyu is the best. She's like my favourite. I gave her the bitchy mean girl voice. But like, she's actually my favourite character. I fucking love her hair. I wish my hair did that. It's so cute. They're so cute. All of them are so cute. One girl squid coming right up. Don't throw it. It's piping hot. You're getting squid juice everywhere. Let's see how you'd like it. Catch this. Oh, ow, 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 that's hot.
You did that to yourself.
Hey, check out this huge sea snail. Tsukasa caught. It's massive.
And that's right. I might still be a rookie when it comes to scallops, but I got a haul of sea snails to make up for it. So wait up, Azumi. You can have as many as you want. Hey, can I borrow a lighter?
Sure. You want some squid too?
So I can grill it directly?
Yeah, that's Kamishima's specialty. Fireworks style squid. Wait, you're actually doing it? The juice is going everywhere. It burns.
Alright, my hand slipped.
There it is, the famous Yuzo One Man. They're so cute! These CGs are so cute! And the fact that they're done like Polaroids. That's so unbelievably cute. They're just so fucking cute. Okay, so... I'm assuming that's what happens if we talk about the hole. If we don't talk about the hole, I think this is what happens instead. Because this is an alternate route. Residents of Kamishima are extremely against Yuza becoming an armor diver. Yuza believes that the hidden secret behind his deceased mother, Mera Minakuchi, is the reason for this, and that it's also the key to finding the mermaid. So he begins a full-scale search. Trail, if there's any time to ask about your mom, it's now. Think we should see what old man Wakamura and Suyu have to say about all this too. Yeah, assuming Gran agrees to talk about it anyway. So whomst? Let's have a mooch around. Let's have a mooch around and try and see if we can find any more of those bird stickers. Seems like there's a bit of commotion over there. Maybe they know something about the rumors. Want me to go ask? That'd be great, thanks. Hey, what's up? Did something happen? Oh, it's Azumi. I don't know if you've heard, but... 15 minutes later. Welcome back. Man, once they get started, they never stop talking. Anyway, nothing about your mom, I'm afraid, but they did have some interesting things to say. Interesting things? Do you want the normal news or the weird, worrying news? Let's start with the normal. So we got a bunch of tourists visiting right now, as usual. But here's what's really got people talking, is that there are 2 foreigners among them today. Oh, really? I hear that the Ise Grand Shrine sees a lot of foreign visitors, but it's unusual for them to come to the outlying islands like this. What's more, is it seems they've been going around asking a bunch of questions. And get this. Apparently they said they've come here looking for mermaids. Mermaids? Curious, right? Yeah, right when we were looking into them too. And that's not all. For some reason, they were asking about your mom, Mare Merikuchi, too. What? Why would foreign visitors know about my mum? Seems like people think they're pretty shady. I was told not to go near them and everything. No, I definitely want to hear what they have to say. I wonder where they are now. They're probably still on Kamishima, at least. Though the question is where. Well, I guess if we see 2 Westerners around, we'll know who they are, hey? Apparently they're an old man and a younger girl. Yeah, I'm sure we'll know them when we see them. I hope we can find them. What's the worrying news then? Okay then. There are reports that 2 armor divers are missing. Apparently both cases were around Ijika town on the mainland. Were there diving accidents or something? Guess so. It seems it's still under investigation, though. Sea hasn't been that rough lately. But I guess it's a dangerous job, so you never know what might happen. Still, 2 armor divers going missing one after another is pretty unusual. So it does make you wonder. Wasn't that long ago there was all this talk of human bones being found in the seafloor near Toba, you know? I remember that, yeah. Wasn't it also near Ijika? No, Mort, they're not talking about him. They're not foreigners. You know the girl from yesterday? The young girl, the little girl. I'm assuming it's whoever she's with. The 2 people that nicked Yazuma's mum off to go on a boat. Because I think there's more characters we haven't met yet. So it's not your pretty boy. I think they're talking about someone else. Maybe this is why Cheer's going on about bad omens. Yeah, it's definitely worrying news. Okay, it looks like that's all the info we're gonna get around here. Let's try going somewhere else. Okay. Well done in Shotaro. Hey there, you 2. Just the man I wanted to see. You wouldn't happen to have seen Sato around, would you? Sato? No, I haven't seen her today. She was supposed to meet me earlier, but she never showed. She didn't show? Something happened? I'm sure it was just because of my old man's ridiculous request earlier. Honestly, I don't know what he was thinking. Still, he's really been acting off lately. Can't believe he'd say something like that. Something wrong? Oh, pardon me, it's nothing for you to worry about. By the way, Yuza, I hear you've become an armor diver. Ah, yes, but I was told to stop, so I'm currently on extended, if not permanent leave. Don't let it get to you. I, for one, think you should go for it. Imagine everyone's been using your mother as an excuse saying she brought bad luck to her, some such. That's exactly it. Do you know why everyone keeps saying Yuzo's mom was bad omen, Shadow? Ah, yeah, what was it again? Something about her being the Raging Waves curse bearer? Huh? Huh? Well, we know she can't be. Because the Raging Waves is still active after she's dead. And that's not how curses work. Like, if she's dead and been turned into a fish person, and the curse is still active after that, she can't be the curse bearer for the Raging Waves. So she's getting... So these people know about curses, though. Which is unusual. Why did they know about curses? Also, my camera fell. Give me a sec. Let me get in a better position. What happening? What happening with camera? I think for some reason it's glitching out. Okay. Let me see. Is it fixed? It might be fixed. So, what? The what? Raging Waves? The Raging Waves curse bearer. Raging Waves is, well, exactly what you think it means. The curse bearer has the power to call forth the calamity of the sea. See, I don't think that's his mum. It is mildly concerning that they know about curses and stuff like this. Well, In some ways, because in the last game people knew about the folklore stories, but people weren't aware that they were like real things that were like physical curses. Huh. Odd and weird. I don't trust Shotaro, if I'm completely honest. He gives me off vibes. Like, he's off. Something about him doesn't rub me the right way. Well, man was going on about it earlier. But it's probably just a superstitious nonsense. Don't pay it any mind. But I really should get going. Let me know if you see Sato, okay? See you later. He's weird. I don't like him. I'm pretty curious about what Shotaro said. Yeah, the Raging Waves curse bearer, Do people really see my mum that way? Maybe we should ask Mr. Wakamoto what he knows. It's worth a shot at least. Anyway, let's keep moving. I want to look at the Torii Gate. I'm determined to look at these places before we go to the two places with the people we actually want to see. Huh? Tsukasa, Sato, what's going on?
Well, I'm sorry, I can't explain right now. Tsukasa, come on, we're drawing too much attention here.
Hey. What was that all about? Something was definitely up with them. Oh, so he turned her down. Yeah, they practically ran off like they saw as soon as they saw us. Tsukasa was crying. What the hell could have happened? I'm worried too, but Sato said she can't explain right now. I'm sure that means they'll tell us what's up later. She got turned down. I'm pretty sure that's probably why she was crying there. I don't think it's going to be anything like majorly bad. I think it's probably just that he told her that he's not into her. True, we shouldn't grill them if they're not ready to talk about it. Still, I get the feeling that we probably shouldn't tell Shotaro that we saw Sato here. Yeah, let's keep this to ourselves until we learn a bit more. So who do we want to go to first? Arnan or Mr. Wakama? I think Wakama, because I'm really bad at old lady voices.
You two again, what are you doing here?
She's here too.
We're chatting about something important right now, scram.
Guess we got no choice but to come back later, huh? Well, okay, fuck me, I guess. Well, okay, fuck me in particular, I guess. Here's the grandma.
Welcome back, Yuza. Oh, and Azumi's here.
Thanks for having me.
You two went out diving today, didn't you? How'd it go? You get a decent haul?
Gran, about that. I was all set to enjoy the next stage of my life and as an amateur diver, but I found myself on forced leave at the very day of my grand debut.
Goodness, did something happen? Oh my, she and the others said all that. If I were you, I wouldn't pay them any mind. You're not breaking any rules, are you?
You sure it's okay?
No point fretting over pointless details, is what I always say.
Grandmother, Tsuyu Mimikichi. She's nice. I like the grandma. Working as an amateur diver.
I must have underestimated how deep tensions ran. I never imagined they'd still be that hostile towards her. I thought things would have calmed down by now for sure. I'm sorry, Yuza.
It's okay, Gran. Not being allowed to dive is not the end of the world or anything. But are you sure there isn't a reason no one wants to talk about Mum?
Well, no reason I can think of.
I'd like to get to the bottom of things if they're possible. It's going to affect my life if I just don't claim. And I'd like to claim Mum's name too. If you don't mind me saying, it does seem pretty weird that people would be this upset just by Yuza coming back to Kamishima. You sure there's not some particular reason they don't like the thought of him going into diving?
Well, no reason I can think of.
The exact same answer as before. She's determined to pretend she doesn't know. Gran, I know you're always reluctant to talk about Mum. But I'm not a child anymore. Isn't it about time you told me the truth?
So, how did your dive out at the bay go?
Dive went perfectly. You may only know me as your grandson, user. Hi, Camper. Thank you for the resub, hon. It's been a while. How are you doing? I'm doing good. We are playing a game that I was very excited about, and it's living up to expectations. This game has been so good so far. It's a lot more chilled and a lot less scary, but the little points of horror that are happening are very good. The dive went perfectly. You may know me only as your grandson user. But in truth, I am a living legend. Kamishima's patron saint of diving.
Wow, now that does sound impressive. I was going to leave it at that, but you're serious, aren't you? You've improved by leaps and bounds since I last saw you. Why, if I was to put it in numbers, you'd be rank 17.
Wow, you can tell all that just by looking at me?
Your grand's been around the amadiving block, you know. There's nothing more I can teach you. You'll make a fine amadiver user.
Thanks, Gran. I'll do you proud as your successor. Have a good luck, Camper. I hope food is good. Also, Junie, that sounds like such a fucking vibe. Like, watching me do the fishing minigame, watching someone do the fishing minigame in this, while doing the fishing minigame in Stardew, sounds like the ultimate fucking autism trap for me. I feel like if there was just a compilation of watching a video of someone just doing the fishing minigame in this game for an extended period of time, for like a 2-hour compilation of someone just doing the fishing video game in this, and I could sit and play Stardew, watching that would be like a hardcore autism trap where I would just get stuck in a continuous fishing loop. A continuous fishing loop sounds like something I would get trapped in. I fucking love fishing minigames, and I fucking live for fishing minigames. Those bitches are my favourite part of most cozy games. But I've been forbidden for diving for now, so it seems my life as an amadiver will have to wait.
No need to fret. I'm sure that will sort itself out in time.
Don't know about that. Your grandma's the same as ever, eh?
Whatever the case, I'm happy you've chosen to follow my footsteps, user. Good thing I thought to keep him out of his outfit, eh?
Yeah, but I don't know how I feel about being able to fit into my mum's clothes at this age.
You never did get any taller after middle school, did you?
Damn, has my constant diet of fresh seafood meant nothing? Nothing you need to worry about, user. Doesn't make you any less charming. That was a particularly yaoi thing to say. That was a very yaoi thing to say. That was a very I want to kiss your face thing to say. I don't go around telling people that being short doesn't make them any less charming. It's true. But I don't go around saying that. Eyes emoji, eyes emoji, eyes emoji, eyes emoji. Eyes emoji. Fishing yaoi. So yaoi. That's so very yaoi. It's true. Push them together. Now kiss. Nah, I don't think that that's where this is going. I think that they're just very good friends. I joke, but I do think that they're probably just best friends. Have you got any diving advice for me, Gran? Ooh, Junie, send me fishing yaoi. Send me fishing yaoi. I finished the old man yaoi I was reading. This is true. Junie is very cute and charming. This is very true. Accurate description.
Advice, eh? Let me see. If you're looking to get a higher score in a single dive, you should focus on gathering everything you can, even the small fry. Getting 10 or 15 will earn you a bonus to your final score. If you manage to have a big catch, switching your focus to bringing in as many small catches as possible could net you a good result.
I see. That'll be good help. That's basically what I ended up doing to get the... because I got a score of 2,000 in my fishing mini-game spout yesterday after stream. I got a score of 2,000, and basically how I got the 2,000 was to find the lobster, grab a bunch of abalone, and then on the way back to the boat area, grab a bunch of just whatever I was diving past, the little shells and stuff that are one-hit KOs. What other tips have you got?
Well, no, bold as brass, aren't we? But I'm glad you're keen to learn. Let me see. Sometimes you come across areas when diving that are simply brimming with sea creatures. I call them bountiful zones.
Bountiful zones, eh? I'd love to see one.
On the other hand, areas with lots of starfish are usually picked clean. No sea creatures to be speak of. I call those places barren zones.
So the more starfish there are, the less sea creatures there are. Got it.
Wildwater cat can always still be hiding in the barren zone, of course, so always keep an eye on your surroundings.
I didn't know that, or notice that. That is actually good information for if we have more diving later in the game. Which I feel like we will. I feel like it would be odd to create a whole diving mini-game only to use it once. We've got to have more diving later in this game. So now I know. Starfish equal don't go. Starfish equal not good for catch. Okay. Suyu's condition. Sorry I had to leave you early today to go diving, Gran. Was everything okay? How are you feeling?
Well, I didn't have much prep in my step today, but it's fine, because Sato came over this morning. She really is a saint, always helping me out with the cooking and cleaning and that.
Again, Gran, I know you're fond of her, but you shouldn't rely on her too much. Didn't know Sato was coming over here to help it out. Yeah, she and Gran became friends recently, and before I knew it, she was coming over every so often.
Sato's such a nice young lady. She even chats with me about all the latest TV drama developments. She's a bit naive in some ways, but she's a quick learner, remembers everything I tell her almost instantly.
I had no idea. Oh, have a sippy now, thank you. Time for the part of the stream where Pigeon just chugs half a litre of fucking tea. And then we'll chug the other half a litre of tea at a later date.
She said I could relax here for a while, and she left early today.
I'm glad you're having fun, but make sure to thank her properly sometime, alright?
Of course, of course.
I'm always happy to help, you know. There's no need to depend on others so much.
I know, but if someone was to help me get things done, I'd rather it was the lovely young girl, you know. And besides, she does a much better job at cooking and cleaning than you do, user.
See, I do my best to be a good grandson, and this is the thanks I get. About Mum. You really can't think of any reason why everyone had such a problem with Mum.
Well, alright, I'll be honest with you. Mare wasn't actually human.
Huh? You mean we were right? Are you for real?
Wait. Don't tell me you believe that. Can't you boys take a joke? I was obviously kidding. Just let's see what a pickle your common sense.
Wait, you were joking?
Of course I was. I thought I'd mess around a bit and see if I could get a rise out of you, but you sure turned the tables on me. Turning a prank around on me like that. I have nothing more to teach you, young user.
Oh, and here I fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. It's no good. She's set on not giving us the slip. We're not gonna get anything more out of her like this. Maybe she'd be more willing to talk if she had some more information.
You've heard me say this before, but Mare found it difficult to fit in here on the island. The environment she'd grown up in was quite different, you see. She struggled to adapt to life in a small community. No other reason I can think of for the beef the others had with her.
We're going out again for a bit, Gran.
Got it. You two take care, okay?
Okay. Jetty, maybe? Oh, it looks like Kikyo's back. Wanna try talking to her again? Yeah, let's give it a shot.
What now? I've had my fill of shady rumors for the day, okay? We want to talk. Let's talk about something fun instead.
Something fun? Any ideas, user?
Well, how about this?
The foreign divers. How about the foreign people that rocked up? What's your hot take on that? By the way, have you seen the 2 foreign tourists that were supposed to be visiting today?
Wait a sec. Foreign tourists? Here today? No way. What'd they look like? Did they have blonde hair? Were they cool?
Oh. I am smart. Now I am smart. We don't know. Guess that means you haven't seen them either, though.
Yeah, I guess I didn't come this way. Hey now, you two would not be thinking of following around to gob. You don't want them to think we're all unsophisticated louts here, do you?
We're just asking whether they were cool or not.
I don't know what you're talking about. I tell me what you're talking about. But if you see them, come tell me, right? Right?
Well, okay, we will. Oh, so she has a thing for foreign guys. That's why she was blushing. Okay. Have you heard about the 2 amateur divers from the mainland who went missing?
Of course I have.
They evidently disappeared one night after the other. Guess it's a reminder of how dangerous the sea can be. Hearing news like this is always be pretty severing. Do you think they were just accidents?
Well, some of the other divers think it's a sign that something bad's gonna happen. But you should probably keep quiet about this, Yuza. If you start bringing it up, people will be suspicious.
That's probably true, yeah.
Personally, though, I think they were probably unfortunate accidents.
About those boxes we helped you with just now, was that the delivery everyone was expecting?
Yeah, that's the latest Kamishima merch, hot off the presses.
Thought so. What do we have this time?
You wanna know?
Bet Adzumi's keen to find out. He's always wearing that t-shirt. Sure am. Gotta show the world how much I love Kamishima.
Tori seems to love that shirt too. You'll be wearing it all the time. Should make you great advertising. Anyway, the latest addition to our souvenir lineup is this.
What's that?
A hand mirror. Bingo! A specially made hand mirror with a Kamishima Maru design on the back. So, what do you think?
Looks great. Why'd you go with another hand mirror, though?
Well, mirror's a pretty prominent symbol of protection for sailors. Comes from a hope that the sea will be as smooth as glass, I guess. There are even regions where mirrors are used as offerings to the sea god.
Oh, that's cool. With these people living on the island and surrounded by the sea, I can see why mirrors are seen as a symbol of good fortune here.
And it's small enough to fit in your pocket too, both cute and practical.
Wow, you're a steal of everything, huh? This mirror's got to come back up at some point, right? They can't just have a horror game or a game about Japanese mythology, bring up a hand mirror, and it not come up again. This is like Chekhov's hand mirror. Fake Pigeon bingo card. Hand mirror is on the coming back up is on the bingo card.
I've actually been handing these out to amateur divers around the island since yesterday. Told them it was charmed, so they should hang on to it for good luck.
So everyone has one? It's kind of nice. Another way to bring us all together. You're amateur diver too now, right, Yusa? Why don't you take one?
But I... Hey, I don't know if it's okay to count you as a diver given what happened earlier. Like it really matters. I've got plenty, so you should take one too.
Thanks. Sorry for the trouble.
No big deal. I don't want you to feel left out or anything. Guess that means Azami is getting one as well. Here we go.
Whoa, really? I'm always down for more chemistry Maru merch.
Sure thing. Keep it safe and sound in your pouch. Maybe we'll see you're safe too. Everyone else is really happy to get theirs too. Even your grandma seems to like it, user. So she'll be able to use it from now on. Really? Good to hear it.
Did you go diving today as well, Kikyo?
Oh, you mean that whole thing about how we're supposed to stay out of the sea? No one I know is paying attention to that. Took a boat out onto the bay from the northern shore, but didn't end up with much to show for it.
Oh, I think it is just a mirror, but I feel like it's going to be used for a jump scare or something. That's my hot take. I think it's a normal mirror, but I think it's going to be used as a jump scare.
Oh, no see ya. Anyone go with you? No, I went by myself. Why'd you ask?
No particular reason, just taking notes for later.
I see, you're really serious about becoming an amateur diver, huh? It'd be a real shame if you couldn't become one with that enthusiasm. I'd like to help, but the timing's really not the best right now. It's okay, any information you can give me is help enough. Sorry, I'll help out when things have died down, okay? By the way, user, how much practice did you manage to get in today?
Enough to be able to do most things comfortably, I think.
For sure, I can tell you've improved a lot just from the way you carry yourself. You must have a real talent for diving if you were able to improve that much in just one day.
Whoa, it's pretty impressive you can tell all that just by looking at him. Oh, I'm glad you like the voice I'm doing for her camper. I feel like it's hard to come up with so many voices. A lot of games have a lot of characters, and I can only do so many voices.
Hey, I thought that way I can show my support. If you managed to get a high score of 2,000 points in one diving lesson, I'll give her a special prize.
Whoa, isn't that great, user? What was your high score a day again?
Let's see. I think it was 1,253 points. Ugh, I'm afraid you weren't quite up to snuff. Too bad.
I put you into my name at the patron saint of diving. Oh? Oh? More reason to do fishing minigame? More reason to do fishing minigame? Smile. Smile, more reason to go back to the fishing minigame. I need to get 2,000 points. 2,000 points in fishing minigame. That's gotta be for a sticker, right?
And I sure hope I run into those foreigners before they leave.
She's not even trying to hide what she really thinks anymore. Oh yeah, there's something I've been wondering about for a while.
Yeah?
Were you the one who came up with the idea for the Kamishimaru Kikyo?
No, can't take credit for that one.
Alright, I forgot you didn't know user.
No what? At one point, the local youth organization was trying to come up with souvenir ideas for tourists. So Casa stepped up and suggested creating a mascot character for the Kamishima. He even drew a design for it. Mascot characters are all the rage nowadays, you know? There's even mascots for the World Expo and Japan games.
Oh, I see. So Tsukasa drew this. I only heard about it after the fact too. I didn't know she was so good at drawing. And not just a cute little turtle, a unique look on his face makes a big impression.
Yeah, the old guys here didn't seem too sure about it at first though. But thanks to Azami's fervent endorsement, it ended up making the cut.
I just didn't want Tsukasa's design to go to waste, you know? She put a lot of effort into it.
I think it's a great mascot too, for what it's worth.
Oh, interesting. Glad I asked. What else you got to say about it, lady?
There's a bunch of Kamishima merch now. Keychains, notepads, you name it. If you want anything, just let me know.
What tips do you have?
Hey now, it's basically me asking me to give away company secrets for free. Oh, I didn't mean anything like that, just the basics would be helpful. The basics, huh? How about this then? Sometimes your fruit can get caught in rocks while you're swimming. You should always stay aware of your surroundings. As being too focused on your catch might get you into trouble. Makes sense. If you swim hard enough, you should be able to free yourself, so don't panic too much if it happens, okay? Thanks. I'll be careful. If I'm ever allowed to go diving again, that is.
Oh, that didn't ever happen to me while I was swimming. So that means that you can get your foot caught. Okay, good to know. That's probably going to come up later.
That's all I got for now. If you want some more tips, try asking Sue. I hope they're both found safe and sound. Oh, was that all? I'll be getting back to work then. Now maybe try going to Wakamura's place?
What voice am I going to do for him? Old man Wakamura, do you mind if we ask you something real quick? It's just one thing after another today. What now? Azumi and the Minikuji boy. Heard from Chi that you two went out on the bay to do some diving earlier. Well, I got a bone to pick with you, and there's no time like the present.
Okay.
So boy, you serious about wanting to become an ama diver? Yeah, become aware of your surroundings. We found a fucking curse earlier. It didn't do anything, it just stared at me, ominously. But it was there.
Huh?
Ooh.
There we go.
Thought at first you'd come up here to get my permission to dive. But now I hear you've been running around looking into Mari Minakuchi. What's the meaning of this?
We've been asking around. To be honest, we have been asking around, I guess. There was no hiding it from you.
Yoza, you sure it's okay?
It's probably best to be honest about things now, Azumi. It's just like you said, we've been trying to find out more about my mum.
I knew it. Anyway, my point is, no more sticking your nose where it don't belong, got it? Most of all, no becoming an amateur diver.
Local magnate,
Shinobu Wakamura.
So, if I give up on becoming an amateur diver and to fall in line, will you tell me about my mum?
All that sniffing around you doing sure ain't falling in line there for sure. Besides, you should be asking Sue about all this business, not me. She's gonna know more than I do.
Huh?
So Suya really does know more than she's letting on.
About the Raging Waves Curse Bearer. Mr. Wakamura, what is the Raging Waves Curse Bearer?
What? Where you hear about that? Pfft, it's gotta be Shoro. Boyna could never keep his mouth shut.
We heard it's some sort of curse that whips the waves into a frenzy. Anything like that really exist?
It does. Southern Sea disaster 5 years ago was caused by that very same curse.
The curse of the Raging Waves?
And your mother, Mare Minikuchi, was the one who brought it down on us. That storm was no natural disaster. It was entirely preventable. If we'd only stopped her from going to bay that day, Kamishima wouldn't have had to suffer such a tragedy.
What? My mum would have never have done something like that.
Just 'cause you don't remember, don't mean it wasn't up to something out there. As to whether it was intentional or not, who's to say? Don't make a difference either way. All this talk about curses is getting hard to swallow. Do you have any proof? Proof? I've got the words of the trustworthy sorcerer backing me up. That's all the proof I need.
A sorcerer? You're basing all this on what some woo-woo wizard said?
Give me a break. You can believe what you like, but don't change the fact that curses and spirits are real as anything else. I don't have time to butt heads with you two, but I know that what I'm saying is the honest truth. Looks like there's no point trying to change your mind. Old man's stubborn as a mule.
You really think that a storm's coming? The storm caused by a curse?
Of course I do. Some fellows who said they were with the police stopped by to warn me about it yesterday, in fact.
The police? Why would the police be warning about a curse?
I reckon they were just phonies trying to take advantage of the curse for their own benefit. But even you two must have noticed that rumbling coming from the sea over the last few days, right? That's proof of the curse of the raging waves is getting stronger.
So that's why you've been telling everyone to stop taking their boats out and prepare for a storm?
Sure is. Naturally, I can't just come out and say it's 'cause of a curse. Ain't no telling where, when, or where it will rear its head. It's too dangerous to go on the water in these circumstances.
Even so, we'll have to take our boats out again eventually. We can't keep off the sea forever.
Valid point. You're damn tootin', which is why I gotta find a way to stop the curse as soon as possible.
Why would a curse be affecting the sea around here, though?
Seems like you two still don't believe me. Let's see if this will change your minds. Long time back, there used to be another island south of here. Taishima, it was called.
Taishima? That's the first I've heard of it.
They say it was devastated by an earthquake and tsunami nearly 400 years ago. Truth of the matter is that raiders overran the island and slaughtered every last one of the people who lived there. Murdered islanders' resentment gave rise to the curse of the raging waves. The resultant storm and tsunami sank the island to the bottom of the sea, raiders and all.
Is that true?
That curse is still roaring about in the seas near here to this very day. Just one little push and that storm could come barreling down on Kamishima next.
A push?
Something that wakened the island's anger again, such as someone with ties to those raiders, say a descendant of theirs drawing near to where Taishima was.
A descendant? Wait, you're saying Mum was a descendant of the raiders who attacked Taishima?
Sure am, and as her son you share her blood.
But how could that?
Only natural everyone would see you as a bad omen, no? Really don't want you back on the island, you know. You should be grateful he didn't have you shipped back to the mainland on the next ferry.
You're telling me that's how everyone's seen you in the folks all this time? It's fine, ask me. Let's hear the rest of what he has to say.
Yeah, being off the ocean for an extended period of time would be fucked for these people. 'Cause, like, what do you do when your whole economy is fish? Drinky drink. Okay, about the keep talking about the curse. You saying the reason the curse of the raging waves reawakened is because they came back to Kamishima? Nah, there were signs even before you came back, so the direct cause is probably something else. Still don't change the fact you're a bad omen, though.
Ah. Maybe we haven't planned to stop the curse.
Ain't none of your concern. You just sit tight at home and stay out my way. I don't want to hear any more about you going to sea. Am I clear?
Gran said she don't know anything about my mum, though.
Huh, so even she even said that to you?
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know that much myself. Sue's always been tight-lipped about Mari Minakuji and where she came from, what her deal was. So you've been saying Yura's mum was descended from raiders even though you don't know for sure? Huh. So you ain't saying nothing to deny. Speaks for itself, don't it? Over time, this old man has turned into southern. I don't know why this old man turned southern at some point, but he did. At some point, he turned into a southern cowboy. I don't know why. He just did. He went from being an old man to an Elvis Presley impersonation. Sometimes I start doing a voice And then I learned a new voice that I can do partway through when it suddenly morphs into Elvis Presley. Suddenly, I learned that I can do a new voice, and suddenly I learned that I've been able to do Elvis Presley this whole time, apparently. Thank you! This is my birthday model from last year. Junie made it for me as a birthday present because I'm a filthy homestuck. Because I'm a filthy homestuck, and this is my homestuck OC version of Pigeon. I think it's very cute. And Junie did a very good job, because she rigged and drew it for me. And the way that the mouth moves is like one of my favourite things, because I can pull such like funny little guy expressions with this model. I just like having a little guy model that I can switch to sometimes. Okay, tell me more about Suyu. You don't like what you're hearing? Should go to ask Suyu about it yourselves. And that's all I'm gonna say on the matter. Should be clear by now just how much of danger you are to this island. Now get yourselves home and stay put. Seems like that's all we're gonna get out of him. But maybe we could ask Suyu about what we just heard. She might be able to tell us more. I want to have a look around again, now that we've been to his house. Guess no one's here right now. Yeah, let's try somewhere else. Okay, I guess we have to go back to Grandma.
Oh, is there something else you needed, Uza?
Mum's curse. By the way, Gran, we just went to talk to Mr. Wakamura, and he said something we wanted to ask you about.
What was that? My hearing's been a bit off recently, you see.
Please don't say that. A lot of Amadaiba's have ear problems, so it's not really a laughing matter.
Someone has no sense of humour.
So, do you know that everyone thought Mum was a Raging Wave's curse bearer?
Wow, I'm impressed you managed to say that without stuttering.
So you have heard of it before?
Oh, dread. Me and my big mouth.
He said Mum was descended from the ones who first called the fourth the curse, or something like that. And that's why everyone is so connected with what I get up to. Or so concerned with what I get up to. Is it true then?
Well, if you know that much, I suppose I can tell you the truth. If I just rest up a bit, I'll be up and round again in no time. I want the two of you to come to the Southern Bay later, once the sun's gone down.
Right. Thanks, Gran. You can't tell us about it now?
I think it'd be easier to show you what I mean.
Okay, we'll be at the bay at sundown. If you're not feeling up to it, don't push yourself, okay?
No need to rush now.
I'll tell you everything later.
You'll want to prepare yourself for this one.
Okay. Damn, I was hoping I could just wander around now. Because there was a point in the old game where you could just sort of wandering around. Gee.
You two again. Just don't wander around poking your noses into business you shouldn't be. How's about you stop messing around and just give up already? Nothing you do is gonna make me change my mind. I'm saying this for your sake as much as anyone else's, Minakuchi boy. Trying to understand my position, eh?
My sake.
You managed to survive that disaster 5 years ago. Some would call it a miracle, even. I wouldn't do to see that miracle go to waste, now would it? Maybe I flew off the handle a bit earlier. Ended up coming off a bit stronger than I meant to. Can't tell you anything about your mother, but believe me when I say it's best you let sleeping dogs lie.
Everyone has turned southern. At some point during my voice, my old people have all turned into southerners. Why has this happened? Why is my old people voice... I've lost the old people voice and just gained old people but southern. When did that fucking happen? When did I lose the ability to do just old people and gained the ability to do old people but southern? She's not gonna give us any fucking tips, but we should ask her anyway. Is this about how Yuza's mum caused that curse? The curse of the raging waves or whatever? So you already know. Heard it from Chernobyl, I'll take wager. So do you believe in the curse, Miss G? Of course I do. At the very least, I know it's not some old wives' tale. No, I'm not saying you have to believe it too, though. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to talk bad about the woman or anything, but there was obviously something up with Mira Minakuchi 5 years back. She already seemed anxious or on edge, and then disaster struck. Might be I'm reading too much into it, but I can't shake these doubts of mine either. I don't think it matters too much that the old people have all turned southern, because southern, like, they are all supposed to be, like, country folk. Coastal country folk, not really farmer country. But, like, southern doesn't feel wrong, per se, in my brain at least. Said it before and I'll say it again. No diving. My stance here hasn't changed a bit, you hear me? Damn, guess that's that. By the way, where'd you go diving today? Oh, well. User wanted a particular spot, so we went about 5 kilometers south of the island. Say what? What were you thinking diving to the Southern Sea of all places? You got even less sense than I thought. You know full well that everybody avoids that area because of the disaster 5 years ago. Yeah, I know. But Azumi and I both lost family in the disaster and we wanted to take a chance to pay our respects. Well, I can't say I don't get how you feel. But that strange rumbling I told you about is from the south. Just do me a favour and stay away from the sea, alright? Alright. She feels particularly more southern, which is why I'm leaning into it now. Ain't got nothing from me there. Foreign visitors. I almost forgot to ask, did the 2 foreign visitors come by at all? Sure did. Saw them just now, actually. What? Do you know where they went? Well, they were heading to the lighthouse from what I could tell. Lighthouse, huh? Gotcha. Don't go following them around just because you don't see many foreign folks around these parts here. Shoot, we heard the 2 armor divers from the mainland went missing in some sort of accident. You heard right. Do you think that's a bad omen as well? I do. I'm well aware of just how dangerous the sea can be, but 2 divers getting caught up in accidents and going missing one right after the other, that tells me something's off with the sea itself. We all done here? You 2 should be dealing with the island miles to Chernobyl from now on. Keep your heads down and stay out of trouble, you hear? Yeah. Well, that was something. She ain't a bad person at heart, but she sure is stubborn. Oh, have a good one, camper. Thank you for coming in, hon. Yeah. I still want to mooch around. Okay, so they said no. Oh, looks like we found them. But yeah, that looks like them alright. Excuse me. Oh no, what am I gonna do for him? You rang. Do my eyes deceive me? Because these young islanders have come all the way here to talk to us? Welcome. Welcome to Kamishima Lighthouse. There's not much here, but please make yourself at home. Thanks for having us. Why is he the one welcoming us?
It's because most people here have been avoiding him. He's excited and finally wants to talk. That someone finally wants to talk.
Oh. Anyway, we were wondering if you could spare us a moment to talk. Wait, before you do, shall we play a game? I want to guess why you've come to talk to us. May I? Sure. It's probably safe to assume you know we've been making the rounds here asking questions. Indeed, it was most likely hearing such news that incited you to climb all the way up here to meet us, which means... Got it. We've almost certainly done something to offend the good people of this island, committed some manner of ill-mannered faux pas. You must have come to tell us that the lighthouse is off limits to everyone except authorized personnel. Actually, no. That face. That face. This bitch is dramatic as fuck. The bitter taste of failure. And thus, does my stint as an aspiring detective end in I don't know what that last word is. Ignominy? Ignominy? I'd say the whole show was kind of a social faux pas at least.
Don't worry, he's always like this. He'll bounce back in no time.
I see, he must be pretty resilient. Since you didn't guess right, do you mind if I continue? Oh, asking my permission, are we? Well then, by all means, permission granted. Thank you, yes, my name is Arnav Burnham. You can call me Avi, as a sign of our newfound friendship, and also because I like it better. Tourist, Arnav Burnham. Barnum, like P.T. Barnum. Okay then, Avi. Such a pleasing ring to it. What can I do for you, young man? Would this girl be your daughter? Not quite. Miss Circe Lunalight here is a distant relative of mine.
Yes, Miss Circe Lunalight would be me. Nice to meet you.
We know what you're capable of, bitch. Don't pretend to be innocent. We know what you're capable of. We know that you're actually something to do with why Yuzu's mum ends up being a fish person. Probably. It's probably partially your fault. I like her holly berries that she has on her headband. I'm Yusa Minikuchi, resident of Kamishima, and this is... Azumi Kunwoi. Nice to meet you. User and Azumi, eh? Pleasure's mine. Wait, Minikuchi. About them. Oh, so we piqued your interest, have we? I'm a fantasy writer by trade, with a reach spanning the Atlantic from Bonnie, England to West Vast America.
I thought maybe his books tell it all.
That's right, for some reason no one buys my novels. Quite the mystery. Frank, alas, a fantasy writer has no need for mysteries. What was that? I earned more as an occult writer, so that may as well be my main job now. Humbug, I say. Stick a sock in it and mind your own beeswax. I see. In any case, I'm just your average free spirit full of loose, fancy free and all that. Was that your wording, wondering if my bohemian nature is the reason I remain unattached and unwed? This guy... Okay, this guy's pretty good. This bitch cannot keep his mouth shut for more than 5 seconds, I can just tell. I can just tell that this bitch can't keep his mouth shut for more than 5 seconds. That's great, here's a himbo. Humbug, I say, stick a stock in it and mind your own beeswax. You seem to be enjoying yourself. I am indeed. Why don't you give it a try yourself? 1, 2, 3. Humbug, I say. Stick up. Actually, I'm good, thanks. Impressive as it is. I can see doing this pose 3 times might have been a bit much. Yes. This guy sure is hard to keep. This guy sure is hard to keep up with. At any rate, I recently found myself at a pressing need to visit the Rare Country for research. Fortunately, young Cersei here just happened to be studying in Japan and kindly agreed to accompany me as my guide. Your guide? Indeed, she's quite the enthusiast when it comes to Japanese folklore and occult phenomena, and such a pleasure to converse with as well.
Itoshima is a deeply spiritual region, full of sacred places I've always wanted to visit. We travel around the mainland before coming here. In fact,
Now, what did she say?
we travel around the mainland before coming here. But this place stands above and beyond. My nose almost started bleeding from exhilaration. In fact, I think it did a bit.
Yeah, it's like, Guy, we asked what you were doing here. We didn't need to know that you're a forever bachelor because you're too eccentric and nobody will fall in love with you. We didn't need to know that. Also, you probably do better if you found someone who's himbosexual. I feel like he would have a better chance. You must have been really excited, huh? Is this really special compared to other places?
Of course, it wasn't called the island. The land whither to repair the waves from the eternal world for the land whither repair the waves from eternal world for nothing, you know.
The land whither what?
What's this? You've never heard it called that? It's said that Yomotohime no Mikoto, the Empress of ancient Japan, was searching for a suitable place to enshrine Amaterasu 2,000 years ago. She received a divine revelation that the waves around Ise province came from the eternal world, which led her to establish the Ise Grand Shrine. This eternal world is a separate realm from the world in which we live. Some describe it as a perpetual paradise.
Whoa, you're gonna have to slow down there a bit. So what does that mean exactly? We learned about it in our local history classes, remember? Oh, yeah, I think I remember, sorta. Basically, Ise is a sacred place that even the ancient gods took a liking to it, right?
Exactly. Such an enchanting vibe. Just being here is enough to have my nose gushing all day long.
But the residents wouldn't be feeling too hot if our noses kept bleeding all the time. One thing's for sure, though. You seem to really like Izushima. As a local, I'm super happy to hear that. Will you be staying on Kamishima tonight? If you need somewhere to stay, I know a few places.
We actually already booked a guest house back on the mainland. We'll be taking the last ferry back after this.
Oh, I guess you won't have much time left then, huh? So what brings you to Kamishima today? I'm glad you asked. Young Yuza, we were hoping to pick your brains on the topic as well. There wouldn't happen to be any legends concerning mermaids passed down on this island, would there? So you really are looking for mermaids? Oh, indeed we are. You know what mermaids are, yeah? I refer to, of course, the mythical half-human, half-fish creature. Yeah, sure, we know that much at least. Then I may be able to prove a modicum of additional information on the subject. Additional information? Well, you may be aware that the typical Western mermaid is envisioned as the lower half of a fish and the top half of a human woman. It's thought that this interpretation is its origins in another sea monster, sirens from Greek mythology. Hi, Irina. Welcome in, hun. Yeah, he's a himbo. He's such a fucking himbo. We've just met this guy and he's told us his entire life story. Their claim to fame is surfacing near reefs and bewitching sailors with their beautiful voices. Andersen's fairy tale, The Little Mermaid, is a famous example of this type of mermaid. Indeed, it's what causes image to enter common knowledge. Yeah, and what comes to mind when I think of mermaids too? A typical mermaid, right? But the mermaid that appears in ancient Japanese folklore is quite different. This mermaid only has the head of a human, with the rest of its body being a fish. It appears as if it was more as an evil spirit or yokai in nature. The legend that eating its flesh will grant immortality also implies that it was seen as more of a fish than a human. Sure, that makes sense. People would definitely think twice about eating something that looked human, huh? This isn't to say that there is a difference in Eastern and Western interpretations of mermaids, mind you. One could rather assume that there are several different types of creatures that could be encompassed by the term mermaid. After all, there were also reports of more humanoid or demi-human mermaids being sighted in Japan in earlier years. Different types of mermaids, Personally, I think lumping two under the same affiliation is a mistake. After all, they're two different creatures that happen to share the same trait of being half fish, half human. It leads to misunderstandings when conflicting stories get passed down, and the whole concept gets treated as a cult malarkey. I think I see what you mean. Also, yeah, there's quite a few very pretty people in this game. There's a lot of very pretty women, in this game in particular. There's like a MILF. There's like a proper MILF in this. She's very pretty. We'll see her probably later. She's like very good. And she has a sidekick who's also very good. Listening to you talk about them, it sounds like you believe in mermaids really exist, Abby. Also, what's good about this game is that all of the characters, or most of the characters, with the exception of the little girl here, are adults. So thinking about them is actually completely fine. Which is rare for Japanese visual novel horror things, actually. If you think about Corpse Party and stuff, all of those characters are kids. All of the characters here are adults, other than the very obvious little girl. No one here is, like, underage. But of course I do. After all, I didn't come to research mermaids. I came to look for mermaids. Bum bum bum. God, he made that sound effect out loud. This man has no shame. This man has no shame. No shame. This is all very compelling. Isn't it? I think this is the first time someone's agreed with me on the matter. Mort really likes the police detective lady's sidekick. He really likes the police detective lady's sidekick. I agree, he is very good. And that brings me to my next question. You wouldn't have to have any local info on mermaids, would you? Fortunately, I never heard any folklore about mermaids here. I see. That would align with the answers we've received from other inquiries thus far. And it would seem our investigation has branded us as certified weirdos. Most everyone now turns a blind eye, as well as a deaf ear. Well, it's probably just because of that. I mean, isn't there supposed to be a huge occult craze going on in Japan right now? I assumed everyone would be jumping at the chance to discuss cryptids. Pretty sure that's a small group of enthusiasts getting worked up. Very vocal minority, yeah. If you're that interested in the occult, what brought you all the way to Kamishima? Do you have a reason to believe mermaids can be found around here? An excellent question. I do indeed. More precisely, I had a reason to believe they were found around Taishima, the island that no longer exists. Taishima? Indeed. I obtained this information through personal research, so I imagine it's not common knowledge. But some say there were 3 mermaids, Sobe, Nagahami, Yahaise, living in the seas around Taishima 400 years or so ago. 3 of them. And you even know their names. We didn't even know Taishima existed until today. Seems a deliberate decision was made not to leave any records of Taishima's existence, which would obviously lead one to believe that something is being concealed. On that note, did you know the records remain several other sightings of mermaids in Ise Bay? What, really?
That's right. Legends about mermaids exist throughout Japan, and this region is no exception. In particular, there are reports of mermaids having been discovered in Suo City and Ise City, both which border Ise Bay.
Whoa, I had no idea.
I've jotted down some notes on these legends. Please take a look if you're interested.
Thanks. It's so very interesting. So which type of mermaid are you looking for, Abby? Well, It seems a lot of mermaid sightings around here, Issei Bay, were fish mermaids. Fish mermaids? But the mermaids sighted around Taishima were apparently human mermaid sort. So it stands to reason that any mermaids around here would be human mermaids as well. By human mermaids, you mean the sort that are closer to humans than fish, right? Indeed, the ones closer to fish, meanwhile, are known as fish mermaids. Or that's what I call them anyway. I see. Don't know whether that makes it easier to understand or more complicated. In that case... Maybe... Ooh, gotta sneeze. Ooh, that was a weird sneeze. That was a really weird sneeze that came out more like a cough. Yeah. Mermaids whose flesh would make you immortal if you eat it would have to be the fish mermaids then, right? Another fine question. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you, Irina. It is indeed difficult to imagine people eating the flesh of human mermaids. But I personally believe that the human mermaids also have the power to bestow immortality on people. Oh, I wonder. Huh. How about another refresher on myth and legend? Are either of you familiar with a place called Reigu? Reigu? Is it related to Reigu Palace that appears on the tale of Unashima Taro? Just so! It could well be considered the inspiration for the undersea palace in that familiar fairy tale. Well, was I right? The Ryu dragon surely refers to the goddess of the sea. It's not uncommon for deities associated with water to be serpentine in nature. This would then make Ryugu the place where god of the sea resides, the palace of the Dragon King. I had no idea Ryugu Palace was based on something else. Ryugu is known for being home to the priestesses who attended the god of the sea. These women are collectively referred to as Otohime. Oh yeah, Princess Otohime appeared in the tale Urashima Taro, didn't she? Yeah, but she was described as the ruler of the Ryugu Palace in the fairy tale. So she was actually a priestess? A slight embellishment to make her a more interesting story, I assume. Hardly uncommon. There's also another interesting theory about the Otohime of Ryugu. It said that they were half fish, half human women in appearance. In other words, they were mermaids. Oh. But what's that I hear you say? Well, that's all well and good, but where is this Ryugu Palace anyway? You wanna know? You're dying to know, aren't you? Very well then, take it away, Cersei.
Right, as a matter of fact, Ryugu is said to once be the exact same palace as the Eternal World I mentioned earlier.
Whoa, really? In other words, the sea around Issei, which is said to consist of waves from the Eternal World, is in fact the location of Ryugu. And Ryugu is home to the Otohime mermaids, right?
That's right. What's more, as a priestess who lives in a land said to be eternal paradise, it wouldn't be that odd if they had some sort of power to grant immortality to humans. Even in the tale of Urashima Taro, Princess Otohime displayed an ability to influence the physical age of other people using the Tamabakato, or the Tamibako. If the story has its basis in the ability of mermaids to influence human lifespans, the power of hers makes a lot more sense, don't you think?
I see, so that's why you think the human mermaids are able to grant immortality, even without eating their flesh. Oh, you see? Intriguing, isn't that? But how would you even get to Ryugu? Haha! What creature was responsible for bringing Urashima Taro to Ryugu in the eponymous tale? That's right, a turtle, or kame. And what is the name of the island we're currently standing on? Oh, Kamishima. And here you have the reason for our visit. So you believe there might be some clue as to how to get Ryugu hidden in Kamishima? Did Kamishima really have some sort of link to Ryugu? By the way, Yuza.
Yes?
You said your name was Yuza Minakuchi, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Are you familiar with an individual by the name of Mare Minakuchi?
Huh? Mari Minakuchi is my mum. She passed away in an accident 5 years ago.
Oh. I apologize for the indiscretion. My condolences.
But we're aware that that's a lie. She didn't die 5 years ago. She just for some reason never came back to the island after she survived whatever the accident was.
5 years ago, huh? You wouldn't happen to have inherited anything from your mother, would you?
No, but what do you mean? What do you know about my mum? Could she have had some sort of connection to mermaids?
Oh well, this is more related to my personal research, so I can't say for sure.
Please tell me. I'm looking for mermaids. If you know anything, I have to know.
Well now, you've suddenly grown lively all of a sudden. Let's calm down a bit, huh? Regrettably, the only lead I have is a rumor that suggests some connection between mermaids and Mare Minakuchi.
A rumor? From where?
Oh ho, you wanna know? Well, I suppose you would, wouldn't you? Huh, very well, I'll tell you. I heard it from a descendant of the islanders who used to call Teshima home.
What? So someone survived the disaster that sunk Teshima, and all their descendants are still around today?
Long story short, yes. Isn't it fascinating? This particular individual was also the one who told me about the 3 mermaids who were said to have lived on Teshima.
I see.
By the by, if you're also seeking mermaids, you must have some information of your own, yes? Surely this one-sided exchange of knowledge wounds your good conscience. Allow me to remedy that by accepting any information you have.
Yusa. Yes, it's our best lead yet. Let's share what information we can. You see.
Oh, so you were saved by a mermaid during the disaster 5 years ago. And you believe the mermaid in question might have been your mother.
Yeah, I know it sounds pretty far-fetched. And I know some of it probably comes from me wanting her to still be alive.
Oh no, on the contrary, I find it very interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Why?
You ask?
Why?
There's a rumor about one of the 3 mermaids who used to live around Tashima. They say she took a human form several decades ago and lived among humans ever since.
What? No way.
That would perfectly fit with our theory. Haha. Color me surprised as well. This is my surprised face, by the way. But it would be very interesting if that was the case.
Sorry, Evie. I think I'm at my limit.
Oh my, that bad is it? Is something wrong? My apologies, as much as I wish we could talk more. It would appear we're out of time. I'm afraid we must bid you goodbye for today.
Now you mention it, if you're looking to make the last ferry, you'll probably want to be heading back soon. Wait, this is the most promising day we've found. If we could stay just a bit longer.
Believe me, I'd love to continue our chat too. But the little lady's been feeling a bit under the weather since arriving here.
I'm sorry to hear that. If you're not going to get another nosebleed. If you're feeling that bad, maybe you should stay for the night after all.
Thank you. I'm just about holding the nosebleed in. But I really should get off the island as soon as possible. Ever since arriving here, I've had this feeling that some terrible calamity is approaching.
A calamity? You can't mean...
I forgot to mention, young Cersei here is sensitive to things in that spear, if you catch my drift.
Okay, but...
As reluctant as I am to part ways, we really must go. Many thanks for the information you shared. And never fear, we'll be back tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yusa.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Abby?
You rang?
If you happen to find any more leads on mermaids today, could you let me know as soon as possible, please?
Oh, I didn't expect you to be all that interested. Very well, if I hear anything else, I'll be sure to let you know. Could you give me your contact information, perhaps?
Thank you. I don't think it's necessarily that she can't control her curses,
Well, we know that she's in training and she hasn't actually been doing any of her training because she fucked off from her training to do all this. She kind of left her, what was supposed to be, from what we found out in from the psychics route, we found out that she fucked off from, the little Cersei fucked off from her training on how to be a better psychic and get stronger, to go travel around Japan looking for places where yokai were said to have been seen. So I assume that she can't actually control them very well. But I also think what they're aiming for here is that the curse of the roaring waves is so malicious and strong that it's causing her psychic, her untrained psychic stuff to give her nosebleeds. Is what I think it is. I think it's going to be that the curses are so strong in the area that they're physically affecting her. Man, that sure was a stroke of good luck. I never thought they would have so much info for us. Managed to learn a lot. Seems like getting any more from them today would be a bit tough. But you need that information by tomorrow, though. Okay, so she's got nothing else to say. Who else can we go talk to? Wakama? So we can't talk to Wakama. Maybe the Tory? No, no one here. Town? No, there's nobody at town. Shore Street? Sun's starting to set. Why don't we go with what we learned so far? Yeah, good idea. First we learned that my mum was considered cursed by some of the islanders. Yeah, they said she was descended from the person who originally called forth the curse of the raging waves, something like that. And because he thinks the curse is about to break out again, Mr. Wakama is currently trying to find a way to stop it. Not everyone on the island believes it, though. Ikkyo and Shotaro didn't seem to believe in any of it, to be fair. It's true, Cersei takes 1d8 psychic damage for every minute that she's on the island. That would be a fucked up thing to do to your D&D players, actually, would be to make them take 1d8 psychic damage secretly the entire time that they're in a location. We also managed to speak to those two foreigners who were looking for mermaids. Sure were full of surprises. And there's also that rumour about mermaids living near Taishima, a nearby island that was destroyed, and one of them assumed human form. Never thought that we'd find something to support the idea that my mum might have been a mermaid. What else we may have learned from this? The mermaid that I encountered 5 years ago may very well have been one of those 3 living near Taishima. We also got some hints about where those mermaids might have come from. Yeah, there's a good chance that they originally came from the otherworldly palace called Reiku. If they're in a place like that, I don't see how we could ever go to them, though. What that girl said about a calamity approaching is bothering me a bit too. There's no way she should know about the curse of the raging waves, right? Do you think that means the curse is real after all? Oh. Ask me, I just realised something. Yeah? If the curse of the raging waves is in danger of breaking out again, then wouldn't that mean its curse bearer is still around today? Oh damn, you're right. But your mum is, well, not with us anymore. Mr. Wakama seems to think I wasn't the direct cause of the curse appearing too. Yeah, he'd probably be coming down on you even harder if he thought you were. So the person responsible would have to be someone that wasn't here 5 years ago, but is here now. Well, assuming the curse is real anyway. Yeah. Still, I really do wonder if my mum had some sort of link with the mermaids. I hope with her whatever Gran has to say shed some light on things. You mean what she's trying to tell us at the bay tonight, yeah? What's wrong? There's a bunch of noise coming from Churl Street. I think I heard screaming. Let's go.
Why?
Oh? What happened? What's wrong? Tsukasa, what's going on?
I don't. We were just in Sato just.
Yusa, look over here. What? Sato? There's blood everywhere. What happened? She's not moving. Don't tell me she's dead. I was fucking incorrect. I did not call that shit. I thought it was Tsukasa that was gonna die. But it turns out it was Sato the entire time. I was 100% sure that it was going to be Tsukasa that fucking died. She had so many death flags. Sato just made too many jokes about killing herself for me to think that she was gonna die. What? What? She's got by the sword curse, too. I think this is what they mean by the sword curse, so they weren't cut in half. Like, directly in half. It's more that they just get slashed, as if by a katana. That makes more sense. Fucking Sato's the one that got. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Sato just suddenly, and then but then got cut down?
Whatever it is, we gotta get her to the clinic. Wait, what's happening?
Whoa. Sato, her wound is... Her wound is gone? Sato! Sato, are you okay? Sato!
What? Osato. Osato. Huh? Huh? I need to see what that note is. Where's that? What's that note? What note was that? The note that was flashing up, what was that? Okay, where? What? Where? Okay, no, we have got a list of casualties for the accident as well. I need to read these notes more. So, like, I'm gonna read some of these notes, I think, and as our little, like, break for, like, a minute or two to process what the fuck just happened. Because I feel like we need to read some of these notes. Because we haven't been, and I feel like there's some information we've been missing. Southern Sea disaster. A localized storm broke out in the sea of the south of Kamishima about 5 years ago, resulting in a maritime accident, which a total of 10 people went missing. Okay, so because yesterday I was speculating on how many people we thought were dead, so it's 10 people died in that accident. 3 fishing vessels caught in an unanticipated storm and all but one of 11 fishermen and amateur divers on board missing. When the ships were later dived up, not a single body was discovered. Sole survivor was Yuza Minikuchi, who was a middle school student. His parents, Tosuke and Mare, as well as Azumi Kamori's father, Kyokichi Kamori, were among the victims. A medium-sized fishing vessel, Daichi Kurosumaru, foundered. Captain Koriichi Kuromoi and 5 crew members all reported missing. Small-sized fishing vessel Oromoi Maru founded Captain Yukichi Nikijiwara and one passenger, identity unknown. That is important. So whoever Yukichi Nikijiwara had on his boat, they don't know who that was. That might be important. Because they could be alive and nobody would know. Small-sized fishing vessel Minikashi Maru founded Tosuke, one other crew member. One passenger recovered with slight injuries, dissociative amnesia due to psychological trauma. That's usual. I'm gonna skip anything that doesn't tell us anything new. I did say that I thought that that girl was the most, like, one of the more suspicious ones. Orohime. Where was Orohime? Ise Bay mermaid legends. This might be important. Mermaids are butchel, according to the Kokon Jomonju, a collection of notable tales old and new. An anthology spoken stories compiled in the 13th century. This book I actually have in real life. 3 mermaids were discovered and caught in the fisherman's net in Basho in Ise province. There are a total of 6 mermaid sightings mentioned in the Gennegi, the ancient annals of Horuji Temple, covering the latter half of the Kamakure period of Noble Kansho period. One of these entries describes a mermaid sighting in Futami, Ise province, modern-day Futami town in Ise city. In the second year of the Ibon era, the mermaid was subsequently named Enji Manju, a name composed of characters affiliated with long life. Anno Town's Yobokini, the exact same period is unclear. Legends tell of a girl named Osato from Kurosawa in Anno Town of Age District, who became immortal after eating the flesh of a mermaid and went on to become Yabukini, a nun who lived for 800 years. This is what kept flashing up on the screen just then. Okay, so is she Osato? Is she the real Osato? Meaning she's immune to whatever the curse is? The sword curse? Is she the real Osato? Meaning she's an immortal nun? Huh? 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 Question mark? And then we know the 3 mermaids of Tashima. We've had this described to us. Sobe, Nagami, and Hayase. From an island that sunk. Okay. Maybe that's why she made so many jokes about killing herself. Because she can't die. Right? Maybe? Maybe she made so many jokes about killing herself because she just can't die. We know about mermaid mummies, we know about that, we've had it explained to us, the Ryugu, the Heike, paranormal affairs, the occult craze, cursed stones, psychics. Some of these are gonna get updated when we actually meet the curses, if it's anything like the first game. Like, the ones about the curses are gonna get updated to tell us more about the curses. Curse that causes an outbreak of turbulent waves and violent storms in the seas around Kamishima. It's said the curse was born from the resentment of a former resident of Taishima, an island once located south of Kamishima, after someone brought about its destruction. Some believe that several of the disasters that have struck Kamishima in the past were actually caused by this curse in some manner, including the Kamishima South Sea disaster that occurred 5 years ago. The person accused of bringing the curse to Kamishima was called the Raging Waves Curse Bearer and was shunned by the island's inhabitants. We also have the thing about how the skeletons appear once every 10 years. There's a skeleton dumped in that pit in the ocean too, from the sword guy. Kills someone once every 10 years and dumps their body in the ocean. Killed by a curse connected to the Hike. There we go, that's all. I think those are the most important things that we've been told so far. Damn. That was a fucking... We haven't unlocked this either, so we can't actually go to the Aunt Avi's sort of like section yet. We've got to unlock it first. Okay. Summary of events. Sato Shiranami was mysteriously cut down, yet moments later she resurrected before her friend's very eyes. As confusion engulfs the island, Yuzu and Arami head out to meet Yuza's grandmother, Tsuyu Minikuchi, at the appointed time and place. This is fucking insane now. So, does that mean her immortal? She's someone who eats mermaid flesh. Sorry to keep you waiting, Yuza. It's now the time to meet with Tsuyu, yeah? Let's head that way. Right. God, this is getting interesting. The whole island was in uproar after that. We didn't even get to ask Sato about what happened. Yeah, apparently she shut herself up in her room at the Wakamura's and hasn't come out since. What the hell was that, though? Oh, do we think she's potentially... Because that Wakamura guy keeps talking about how he has a talented sorcerer that he's getting all his information from. Could it be Orihime? And how'd she even get hurt like that in the first place? Some of the islanders were kicking up a real fuss, saying that Sato isn't human, and she's something evil and should be chased off the island. But everyone settled down after Master Wakamura stepped in and promised to handle it. Everyone's on the island has probably heard about it by now, though. It'll be all anyone can talk about for a while. Did you go back home afterwards, Yuza? No, I stayed out to do some digging. Gran wasn't at home anyway. She hasn't recovered enough to be able to move around that much, though. I'm pretty worried. Yeah. You think our promise to meet with her at the bay was still on? Let's go and see. God, this is weird. What's going on? Oh good, she's here. Gran, is your leg okay? What's going on? Gran, it's me.
Oh, you two came after all. The waves were so loud I couldn't hear you for a second.
What are you doing over there, Gran?
This is where it's hidden.
Hidden? What is?
The Mare. Your mother left us.
My mum?
Yes, so Yuza, have you heard of an island called Taishima?
Taishima? Huh? Gran? Gran! Tsuyu, what's wrong? They fucking killed our grandma too. She's hurt bad. We have to stop the bleeding.
What are you two doing over there?
Kikyo, this isn't... She suddenly...
Satsuyu? No, you can't have.
Wait! Shit, she totally got the wrong idea. It's too late, Gran. She's got no pulse. The wound is too deep. It almost cut her clean in half. She never stood a chance. I'll go get someone. Stay here with Tsuyu. Yuza. No, it's alright. I'll come with you. So, help! Someone get the clinic doctor! This old lady, Nakamura? What the hell is happening? I heard screaming from down there too. Come on, let's go. It's killing all the old people. No way, even she?
Someone help! 2 more people collapsed over there!
What's happening? Someone help me, I don't want to die. Damn it, there's too many victims. We aren't gonna have enough people to help at this rate. There are more over there, too. What the hell is happening? Is that Kikyo? It got her too? Someone tell me what's going on. What's with these gashes appearing out of nowhere? This isn't right. There's no way this is normal. Is it a virus? Or is there really a curse? Those affected by the phenomenon died instantly. The strange calamity that had suddenly descended on Kamishima plunged the island into panic. With no knowledge of the cause or reason, there was nothing that could be done to prevent it, and the massacre continued unabated for a time. The survivors were seized with fear. Some ran to escape, some simply broke down, some flew into a wild rage. A frenzied chaos swept across the island. A short while later, at least we were able to meet up with Tsukasa. But what the hell is going on? The whole island's in an uproar. Everyone's panicked. We couldn't find anyone who could talk straight. I could blame them. No one knows who will be affected next. It's probably best to hide here until things settle down. You okay, Tsukasa?
No, I have no idea whether my mom's safe or not. And I wasn't able to find Sato either. I'm so worried about her.
Old man Wakamura said he'd handle things, so I hope she's managed to make it home at least. No, this is the curse that girl could feel earlier, right? I thought that she was talking about the roaring waves, because that's also supposed to happen soon. But no, the curse that she could feel was probably this beginning to activate. Hey, do you think Sato's wounds healing up like that was anything to do with what just happened? We've held off prying onto Sato's past up until now. But maybe that won't fly anymore. Come to think, didn't this whole curse of the raging waves mess start when Sato came to Kamishima?
Say that. This isn't Sato's fault. She's just a normal girl. I won't let anyone say anything bad about her. Not even you, Azumi.
Sorry, Tsukasa. I didn't mean anything by it. I wasn't thinking it straight.
I mean, I never thought something like this was really possible either.
Huh? Something like what? Do you have some idea what could have caused it?
Well, a little while ago, when we were at Old Man Wakamo's place, some guy found and threatened to kill all the women on Kamishima with a curse.
Another curse? Who was it? What'd they want?
I don't really know. He said something about no mercy, just punishment for anyone who defies him. It was really creepy.
What the hell? All those people had died just because some guy didn't get what he wanted. Old man Wakamo said he'd do something to stop the raging waves curse, but things just got worse instead.
Azumi, calm down. There's no use getting mad at me.
You're right. Sorry, Tsukasa. Guess I got a bit heated. Even so, that means those gashes were deliberately caused by someone using curse, right? So they're the one responsible for all this. Right. Even if the massacre was caused by something supernatural, someone made it happen.
About that, something's been bugging me about the whole thing.
What do you mean?
It didn't seem like the victims were being targeted at random somehow. They were all women for a start, so I was trying to think of some kind of common point that would put them together.
That's also Tsukasa, sharp as ever, so what are you thinking?
Could they have been targeted because they were armor divers?
Now you mention it, weren't all the victims we saw on the way here armor divers? Though I guess most of the women on Kamishima have at least some armor diving experience. But they were after Sato first, right? That wouldn't fit.
Oh, you're right. Sato isn't an armor diver. I was pretty worried, Yuta. It might be targeted as well, but I guess I can breathe a bit easier now.
We still don't know what the conditions are, though. None of us are out of the woods yet. Wait, the victims were only women. Could it be that the killer has been using this to find their targets? But would that mean the culprit is? Huh?
What's up, yes, you figure something out? Huh?
Welcome to the end of the tutorial. Smile. Welcome to the end of the tutorial. What? Use it, your head, it.
No.
Smile. 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 We fucking died. So 100% it was targeting people who were going to blab, right? The curse was targeting people who had figured out information that they didn't want revealed and was telling people, anyone that knew this information, right? Well done in your efforts thus far. I regret to say that it seems the mysterious attack that befell Kamashima was resulted in Yuzamine Kyuchi's quite literally losing his head. There's nothing more we can do here, so let us bring this chapter to a close. For now, we will return to the story chart, where you may proceed with a different route. I wish you the best of luck on your journey. Ooh. Ooh. Things have opened up. Who are we feeling like going with? Because we can go for either of these two. We could go for Sato, who I think is probably actually Osato, if that was anything to go off of. Or Avi. Whomst do we feel is more important here? Yumiko is still red. That's concerning, that she's red. Why are you red and nobody else is? Oh, actually, I think they're all just colour-coded. Maybe. Because Yuza is blue, Sato is white, she's red, and he's kind of like orange. Discovering the mermaids of Ise Bay, arriving on Kamashima, sacrifice. We'll go in the first point in the timeline. I think it's best to start at the first point in the timeline and work our way forward. As much as we can. Also, I'm switching my model back. Because it feels weird to do this with my troll model. There we go. There we go. I'm back to normal. I have returned. After much hustle and bustle, we finally managed to make our way to Ise Bay.
Nice.
Take it all in now. We're standing at the coast of Nakabeppo in Mie Prefecture's Karowage town.
Which means this is the Sea of Ise, the connection to the eternal world. How amazing!
Indeed it is. Come on, Cersei. Henceforth begins our grand adventure in search of the legendary mermaids of Ise Bay.
How amazing. I just can't stop saying it.
Without further ado, my name is Arnev Barnum, American-born fantasy author. Please call me Abby.
I'm hearing you introducing yourself to, weirdo.
Oh well, I simply thought a new beginning called for a little dramatic laird, you know.
Sure.
With that out of the way, perhaps my darling guide can provide some insight into the goings-on in this locale.
Sure, I got you covered. Well, this area is now called Nikabeppo. Long ago, it was a region of the Ise province known as Betsuo. Records that indicate that 3 mermaids were caught by a fisherman's net along the coast back here in the Heian period.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Let's hear more about those mermaids.
They had human heads with the mouths of monkeys and teeth and bodies of fish. And they spoke and even shed tears like humans.
Huh, could these all be for the fish mermaids mentioned before?
Could these be the fish mermaids you mentioned before, Abby?
Indubitably, yeah. This must be the place. I'm getting goosebumps.
Right, I feel the same way. This is so exciting. The endless expanse of the sea. The eternal world may lie just beyond this horizon. After all, Issei Province is the land where they repair the waves from the eternal world.
The eternal world is purported to be a perpetual paradise, a separate plane from the world we live in, yeah? Could it be that mermaids hail from such a place? This would be a really good place to hide. I'm just checking, because this would be a good place to hide one of those birds. But no. No bird. Okay, what are you gonna say?
Kawaki Town might just be located next to the Mia Prefecture's modern capital, Tsu City, but there's something you have to keep in mind. This is also the birthplace of Hike, a branch of the Heian period's preeminent Taira clan. If you're going to talk about the Issei province, then you absolutely have to mention the Hike.
I do have a passing understanding of the topic. The Hikaru took part in the Genpai War, correct?
That's right, the war in the Heian period where two great samurai families, the Minamoto and the Taira, locked horns and really got into it. Among the Hike, Tara no Kimura was a particularly famous figure who appears in many creative works concerning the event. His father, Taira no Tamadori, was one responsible for securing the Hike's social standing.
So Tomadori was Kiyomori's father, right? With names like that, how can anyone hope to keep them straight?
It's history for you. I'm afraid you just have to memorize them.
Suppose you're right about that. Then memorize them I shall.
Apparently, Tamadori was born in Tsu City, in a place called Ubushina.
So that's why they call this area the birthplace of the Hike. This young lady is a distant relative of mine, third daughter of the Lunar Light family. The Lunar Lights have been in the business of demonic exorcism in England for several generations now. As such, young Circe has received education in this rare subject from a young age and is now an apprentice exorcist. In order to continue her training, or more likely simply because her interest is in the area, Circe has come to Japan to study abroad. Upon hearing such news, I thought to employ her as my guide for this mermaid hunting expedition to Issei Bay. She is apparently quite fond of the Japanese myths and folktales, and has already explored a number of areas concerned with the occult. Interested in visiting Mie Prefecture at least once during her stay, she immediately agreed to my request. Okay, so we learned a bit more about her. They are actually related.
This is the metropolitan center of Mie, and a locus of historical events. I guess that makes it the perfect place to start a new journey.
Can we get back to those mermaids you mentioned? What became of the three that were caught by the fishing nets?
At the time, the lord of this area was Tara no Tamadori. You didn't already forget him, did you? Well, the fishermen thought the mermaids were a fascinating find, so he placed two of them into boxes and presented them to Tamadori.
Oh, Lord Tamadori must have been well pleased by that. How could he not be? It's known that eating the flesh of a mermaid grants eternal life.
Actually, Tamadori evidently said they were disturbing and gross and refused to accept them.
Huh? What a waste.
However, the fisherman cut up the remains of the mermaid and ate it himself.
So what happened to him?
Well, the fisherman said it was pretty tasty.
Well, no, tasty was it?
And that's all I've got.
That's it?
So I can find in existing records.
Then the act of eating mermaid's flesh alone may not produce results. Suppose then there may be other requisite conditions you wouldn't say?
Well, considering the sheer number of eyewitnesses reports concerning mermaids, it's odd that there aren't more immortals walking around.
This is the same point that the detective psychic lady said. Like, if it was that easy to become immortal, there would be more immortals wandering around. But so far, not a single one has come forward, and if they do come forward, it's because they have lived in isolation for their whole immortality, because even you may get a bit of peace where people don't want to kill you for a little while, but it will come back again eventually, right? Like, eventually, your immortality will cause problems.
I suppose it's possible that someone in the Hike clan snuck off with them.
Now that's a hypothesis I can get behind. Talk about the Hike.
I put together an assortment of files concerning the Hike, so feel free to give them a look if you're interested.
You have my heartfelt gratitude.
Oh, there's one more thing I should warn you about, though.
Oh?
This group sometimes gets referred to as the Isetara as well, which might make things a little more confusing. I'll go ahead and label it all as Hike.
Does that really matter? Aren't they basically the same thing?
Not exactly, you see. The term Isetara refers to the Tara clan as a whole because of its originated in Ise. On the other hand, the people generally refer to the family within the clan that included Tamadori and Kimi Mori as simply Hike. Their family features prominently in the stories we're interested in, so I'll use Hike most of the time. Plus, it has a nice ring to it.
Either works for me. Do as you like.
The tale of the Hike also used Hike.
You're awfully particular about this, but I rather like that kind of fondness. Or fastidiousness. That's a word of the day, if ever I heard one. Fastidiousness. I haven't heard that in fucking years. I think I read it in a book once.
Anyway, after a number of events, the Hike would go on and lose the Battle of Dan no Ura and be completely eradicated.
Ah, I believe now I know this one. Dan no Ura is found in Kyushu, is it not?
Bingo, the clan that was chased out of Kyoto and pushed further and further west until they were eventually wiped out there.
Pains me to think of such resplendently glorious clan meeting such an magnanimous end. More's the pity.
That's why the Hike's resentment is particularly strong, and many remnants remain even today. Shrines and monuments have even been erected throughout the island in an attempt to quell that resentment.
Ah, now we reach your particular field of expertise.
Because the clan fell from such exalted position so abruptly, that resentment is exceptionally persistent and quite pervasive. That said, the famous place is related to people like Tiara no Kimori as well, attended by worshippers, so they're relatively stable. It's the puffed up and pretentious Hike clan members that no one even remembers who cause the most trouble.
I seem to recall a number of individuals going so far as to claim that those outside the Hike clan could not even be considered human. But if that's the case, are we really safe here? You don't think that might find ourselves assailed by the lingering grudges?
Much of Ise province is protected by shrines, and the area is suffused with spiritual energy, so we're probably safer here than most places. But that's just the land itself. Objects or people that the resentment has seeped into are a different story altogether.
That's somewhat troubling to hear. We probably will see Pretty Boy 3. At some point. I don't know when. I feel like much later for these two characters, but we might see them later on, earlier, for others, for other people.
Well, either way you look at it, the region is still home to many places and things associated with the Hike.
Excellent. I believe we've gotten a grasp of the situation at hand. Time to make our way to the next location. We're on the clock after all.
Let's get to it.
Where are we going? We're travelling around. We're moving. We're schmoving. Kusawa. I like her little outfit. It's very cute. Well, it would seem that we've arrived. Where are we now, Cersei?
This is an area in Old Town known as Kurosawa. Kurosawa is quite famous because of the old bikini legend, I'd be surprised if there was anyone who hadn't heard of it.
Sorry to say I've never heard of it.
Wait, really?
Come on now, don't act so shocked. You can't expect me to know every little thing. Besides, I'm not even from this country. The very reason I requested you to be my guide was so you could teach me about things like this.
Yes, that's true. Okay, I understand.
I'll be counting on your explanations. So these two characters are background heavy.
The legend of the Yabukini originated here in Kurosawa and Otown. Long, long ago, a 17-year-old girl named Osato lived in this village.
Osato. And the girl who healed herself and brought herself back to life after being cut by the curse was Sato.
She unknowingly ingested the meat of a mermaid and that was served her in the village gathering and became immortal. After subsequently being persecuted by other villagers, she became a nun and made a pilgrimage around the entire country. At the end of the story, she eventually returned to this village and lived out the rest of her very long life.
Tales told in other parts of the country play out almost exactly in the same fashion.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So do we think that the mermaid immortality actually makes you live longer than 800 years? And so Osato hasn't lived 800 years. She's not an 800-year... Because we learned that from the Pretty Boy number 3 and also MILF Detective. They were talking about how there are 800-year immortals. Immortals who live for 800 years and can't die until they reach 800 years old. Pat, 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 pat. She's very cute. I thought she was going to be more annoying after the shit she pulled with the Paranormal Affairs gang. But she's not actually that bad. And I think that they probably had a good reason for dragging the mum away on a boat. Away from Paranormal Affairs.
The legend of the Yabukini, a girl who ate the flesh of a mermaid and lived for 800 years, has been passed down all over Japan. Not only here in the Mie prefectures and Otown, but in Fukini, Akichi, and Gifu prefectures as well. In total, the story has been found in 121 locations in 28 prefectures throughout the country, or at least that's what certain researchers indicated.
Doesn't that seem like a lot? Were there really that many different Yaobikinis out there?
Obviously, not all the legends can be true. But I actually have a theory on the subject. Would you like to hear it?
Well, by all means.
Most of the legends refer to a woman who stopped aging and lived for 800 years after consuming the meat of a mermaid. At that point, because others would find it strange that she wasn't getting any older, she wasn't able to live in a normal society anymore.
Suppose that wouldn't be natural. Explain why she withdrew from the world and became a nun.
Exactly, and that's how she got the name Yao Bikini, the 800-year-old bikini nun. With 800 years on her hands, she could have easily made a pilgrimage around the entire country.
How interesting. Buddhist priests are known for trekking throughout the land and form with aesthetic training. Aww, thank you. Thank you for the pat-pats, Mort.
If we consider the 121 locations where the legend was found with 800 years to spare, she could have spent 6 years in each location. 6 years would certainly be enough time for her to make a name for herself in each and every location, right?
Oh, my dear, I see what you're getting at. Your theory posits that the stories of Yabukini that have been passed down in every corner of the country refer to the exact same individual. Oh, hi Mixo, welcome in, hun. I'm doing well, thank you for asking. I'm very invested in this game. This might be another double-length stream. We might do another hour and a half of this today. Because this is very invested. I'm very invested in this. Jeremy's doing well. He's chilling. He's small today because he kept getting in the way. He has been shrunk.
Well, it might be a bit much to say that all of them were the same, but there have been a few different... It may have been a few different people. But it's more convincing than the theory that there were 121 people. Also, I also think the Yabakini of Wakasa province is most likely the origin of the legend.
I wonder. Don't all the different instances of the story throughout Japan also claim the particular location as her place of final rest?
That may be true, but I assume that each of those different places wanted to have a grave or some other tangible marker to base the location on. But would so many people that are purported to have lived for 800 years all die around the same time? Seems pretty unlikely.
Then you believe that some tales were embellished somewhat?
Sort of thing happens all the time. Legends always mix truth and fantasy. Moreover, it doesn't make sense that every single immortal would decide to become a nun. There were likely some places that simply believed Yabakini was the term for an immortal.
Rather than nun, for all we know she could have said Amma be none of that, and became an Amma diver. But it's... God damn it, man. That was bad. That was fucking atrocious. Never speak to me again. Avi, you banned. Avi, mods ban Avi. Mods ban the character from the game. That we're gonna have to keep playing as.
That's actually pretty insightful. Many legends are based on simple semantic misunderstandings.
No, wait just a minute. I won't stand there and let my dumb joke actually become a salient point of discussion.
Let's drop it then.
But still, if one were to somehow live for 800 years, a person that became immortal after Kamakura period would still be alive today.
True, and if so, I'd love to sit them down for a long chat.
He keeps making the noises out loud. He did the out loud. This man. He's fucking insane. This is such tonal whiplash. Talking to these two is such tonal whiplash. From the last character, what happened in the last section. What's he got to say about the surroundings?
Ah, the fabled beauty of the serene Japanese countryside. It really is charming.
Ah yes, the incessant chirping of locusts combined with unrelating heat. This is Japanese summer, alright.
It's fascinating to think that such a peaceful place could be home to such a profound historical events. I'm practically jittering with excitement.
I can see that. Let's try to keep a cool head, shall we? Ooh, shrine. I'm going to look. Oh, there it is. There's another bird. It's a penguin. We got a penguin. Chat, that's sick. We got a penguin sticker. I knew there had to be one somewhere. Let's talk about the shrine. What's down there? Some sort of shrine?
This shrine is apparently dedicated to Sawaga no Mishika Zane. We should go pay our respects before we leave.
Go on, this game does... The art style is just so cool. How they have, like, such realistic backgrounds. Because they're not actually photos, I don't think. I think some of these are actually painted by the artist. And then you have the character portraits that are also painted, but kind of in a different style. Can Kurosawa's legend of Yabakini really be true? There must be falsehoods in fiction mixed into the tale, surely.
Who knows? Ise province isn't that far from Wakasa province after all. She may have simply walked there from here. The fact that the stories from each different area are so similar does make me wonder if they didn't get mixed together somehow.
Oh, you think the legend may have been an amalgamation of stories from various locations?
Exactly, but then again...
Then again?
The immortal in the story from this location has her own name, which gives the legend a certain verisimilitude.
Indeed it does.
Yes, we can assume the girl that was with that name really did live here long ago. Then something must have happened to make people believe she had become immortal. It's reasonable to assume her story and then got mixed up with various legends of the Yabakini from around the country before being passed down.
Of course, the exact timing of these events still is unclear, but it does present an interesting possibility. She could very well still be living in this village. Wouldn't that be a compelling development?
Leave it to an occult writer to think something up like that.
That's right. You're seeing the prestigious imaginative power of a fantasy author in action.
Yes, it really is something.
As far as the girl is concerned, I suppose I could be considered a guardian of sorts, even though I often find myself caught up in her pace and completely thrown off guard. If anyone should be shaking things up around here, it ought to be me.
But the fact of the matter is that almost no traces of Yabakini exist in this village. Even her grave, which is referred to as Lady Yao's tomb, has never been located.
Aw, thank you, Maud. That's very sweet. I knew that chat was gonna like this game. Based on what games you guys have liked before, like when I played, what is the game called? The one that I really liked. I knew you guys were gonna like this one, because it's kind of similar to Urban Myth. It's kind of similar to Urban Myth. And you guys really liked Urban Myth Disillusion Center. So I knew for a fact that you guys would probably like this game. Because it's very similar vibes. Except for this, yeah, they're very, very, very similar vibes. Especially the first game in this series, which I will play eventually. I'll get around to it. But then did we call all this way for nothing?
Well, it might not have been a direct connection, but there is something we should always consider when discussing Issei. The Tales of Issei. Have you heard of it? It's the oldest extant collection of Japanese verse, compiled sometime during the Heian period.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with it. But I've heard of the Tale of Genji, the Tale of Hige. Is there anything like those?
Well, those are also stories written during the Heian period, but that's where the similarities end. Let's try them.
Ah. Well, they sound similar enough, anyway.
Don't worry, I'm not an expert on the subject either. Basically, this collection of verse elaborates on a number of waka poems by giving accounts of the events surrounding each one.
Oh, thank you for gifting us up to Arena, Maud. I appreciate it. I'll go have a sippy, because my voice is starting to go crackly. That's not the correct word, but that's the word I'm going to use. I'm going to have to live with that, okay?
The entire collection of 125 passages is referred to as the Tales of Issei. That's easy enough to remember now. The Tales of Issei is a collection of short stories.
Oh, no, that was him. Oh, I just pretend she said it.
Ah, one more thing. The title might be The Tales of Issei, but the content isn't all focused on the actual area.
What's this now? Are they intentionally attempting to confuse and bewilder us?
Some believe the title comes from the fact that the passage 69 is set in Issei province. At any rate, I just thought that I should bring it up because it does have at least a slight bearing on the topic at hand.
Yeah! It's good for Irina to have a sub, because sometimes she watches me and Junie's perspective on games. Or like, Irina, oh, for those who don't know, Irina's like she's the other person we play D&D with. It's me, Junie, Devi, and Irina. We're the 4 D&D girls. I should have brought that up earlier. For those who don't know. Like, I know Irina. She's not just a stranger. She plays D&D with me. She's the one who plays Lysandra. We appreciate it. I very much do appreciate it, Irina. It's nice to see, like, how much all 4 of us kind of, like, try and hang out with each other as much as we can outside of D&D too. Because I definitely try to hang out with everyone when I see that they're doing stuff. And try to chat in the Discord as much as I can. It's nice. I enjoy how good we all are with each other.
If you're keen to learn more, I added more detailed information to the files.
Why, thank you. I'll be sure to read through them later. This feels like a file that we should have a quick read of. So I'm going to open it. And just do a skim read and tell you guys anything important. So they don't know who wrote it and they don't know when it was written. 125 episodes, which is short stories from this kind of book. A life of a man from his coming of age to his death. And is mostly about him having sex with different women. As is typical for this kind of book. Ukuburi, who sets out on a ceremonial falconry excursion. He falls in love with them and writes a poem on his sleeve and cuts it off. A man gets a noble woman to fall for him. They go do the do in like a shed. When he wakes up in the morning, she's gone and has been eaten by a demon that was in the shed. Amukudurai. A man embarks on a journey to the east with a group of friends, Mikawa province, catches sight of some beautiful flowers and reflects on how far his journey has brought him. He recites a poem. In the Sugura province, he sees snow on the peaks of Mount Fuji, contemplates the passage of time and recites a poem. In Musashi province, he spots an unfamiliar bird on the shores of Sumida River, recalls his wife and hometown, and recites a poem. His friends all weep upon hearing the letter, moved by his feelings for his faraway home. Sumusizaru. Close friends from childhood, a man and a woman exchange poems and are wed, but the man prepares to travel to a faraway Kurichi province to visit his other lover. The woman displays no hint of displeasure as he sees him off on his journey. He's suspicious, and and she does herself up really pretty. He feels shameful about the fact that he's going to go cheat on her and decides not to. This is what counted as morals back then. This is what standards were back then. I feel very bad for the women of this time period. The standards were, he thought about cheating for me, booked the ticket to go cheat on me. Told me he was going to go cheat on me. I recite poetry because I'm sad about it, and he decides he's not going to cheat on me. That's sad. This guy's a dick. Oh, this one might be important. Having been sent to Ise province to hunt game, a man is received with great hospitality by the imperial priestess, serving as a priestess at Ise shrine. Attracted to each other, the two attempt to meet in secret, but can find no opportunity to speak intimately. Though they promise one another to meet the following day, it's not meant to be. The two exchange poems of farewell before the man sets out to continue his journey. This is in the Ise province, though. Some of these might be red herrings, but I think it's good to read some of these because some of these might have hints like that other one did. Okay. The other one didn't sound that important. Yeah, that's basically what that short story rounded up to. Where maybe my wife is hot when she wears makeup. Maybe I shouldn't. I feel so bad for women back then. This is what counted as good literature at the time.
There's one other thing we can learn from the Tales of Issei. Adding the tale up to a book title really classes things up. You should keep that in mind. It was apparently all the rage during the Heian period.
I couldn't agree more. My next work is suddenly going to be a tale of... Well then, I suppose that brings this particular subject to a close. On to the next. No rest for the wicked, I say. Time to tackle the next mermaid myth.
Sure.
Oh, we're getting... Utamagara, this is where the mermaid body washes up. We're at the location where the mermaid body washes up now. The mummified one. And here we are, here we find our next subject of inquiry. What might this place be, my dear?
This is Futimigara, a coastline that lies between Futami town, just over from Ise City.
Oh, then we finally penetrated the outskirts of Ise City proper. Things are suddenly beginning to heat up. I've heard that Ise City was a prefectural capital from the fact that the Mia Prefecture was once known as Ise Province. Not bad, eh?
Oh, well, I can understand how you would arrive at that conclusion. The truth is, Mie Prefecture is composed of 4 separate provinces: Ise, Shima, Iga, and Yi.
Ah, is that so?
That doesn't change the fact that Ise City is regarded as the spiritual capital of Japan, making it a very important location.
Very interesting, but the sun's already beginning its steady descent, so perhaps we should pick up the pace a bit. Futamigara's sea is famously said to purify the body. So many visitors to Ise Shrine come here as well. Scenic beauty of the location has even been featured in poems from antiquity. Certainly is easy on the eyes. The strands of pine trees along the shore make for quite the striking image. Make it even better, the embankment we're standing on offers a 360-degree view of the Ise Bay. Makes you want to get out of the very edge and take it all in.
Really does. Being surrounded by a bay like this is such an enchanting feeling. What a breathtaking view.
The music here has got sus. We can look directly upwards, and I don't know how I feel about that. We have such a wide range of view in this particular spot. But I guess this is just so that we can get a, like, full view of what's going on. As far as the girl is concerned, I suppose we've read that already. Okay. About the Futimigara mermaids. So, does this place have any legends featuring mermaids?
It does. A record called the Kingari was written by people of the Hoiji Temple after the Kamakura period. In that record, there are a total of 6 instances of information concerning mermaids.
6, eh? That's certainly promising.
One of those entries describes a setting here in Futami, Ise Province, on April 3rd during the year of the Abron area, which would be 1357.
So they even noted the exact date. How fortunate.
The passage is as follows. From the sea of Futami in the Ise Province came Imuju, delivering perpetuity.
So, what exactly does that mean?
My guess is that a mermaid was spotted in the sea by Futami and was named Imiju, meaning health and long life, because it guaranteed longevity.
Aha, granted longevity did it. Finally, we're getting to the good stuff.
Yes, it's another account relating to mermaids to Yabukini. It seems the idea of mermaids granting immortality has already been established at that time.
Indeed. Now we even have a name. Honestly, yeah, Mort, you're entirely correct. The D&D is so good. Like, it's such a good setting for us to all play in. And the next setting, too. Like, the next setting. Fucking bat slaps. You guys, I'm so excited for you guys to see my next character, too. But I'm so excited. I'm, like, super excited for next week, too, when we get to experience Marshall deliberately targeting Pigeon and my paranoia about everything he does ever. Marshall deliberately targets Pigeon and her paranoia about everything he does ever. The episode. Especially with the fact that Reed has lost the ability to investigate things because she used magic goat eyes in the celestial plane. Like a fucking idiot. Anyway, back to the game. So what sort of mermaid was this, and what became of it?
No clue.
Again, with the vague records, these people write down the appearance of some fantastical creature and then just let it wander off.
Haven't personally gone over every bit of research on the matter, but I can speculate an answer. Records of mermaids in other places also often refer to them by name. In fact, it may not have been all that uncommon for people in the area to encounter them when these records were still written.
Let me see if I follow your meaning. The same mermaid who would appear repeatedly, leading the people in the area to grow accustomed to it. Am I on the right track?
Exactly. I mean, you wouldn't bother giving a name to something you only saw once, after all. These people may have been even come to have a kind of a rapport with the mermaids. At the very least, it doesn't appear as though they were trying to capture any.
Mermaids that people didn't want to capture. They weren't seeing its flesh. Perhaps there was a way of obtaining immortality with even without meat.
Perhaps the mermaid meat was really just a tasty and nothing more. And if that were the case, then it makes perfect sense why they would view the mermaid as a divine creature.
So they treated it with an auspicious being that blessed others with long life. You may be onto something there.
This makes me think of that theory that mentioned how there might be two different kinds of mermaids.
Oh, you remember it? I stand by my theory. There is the fish mermaid, which looks more like an aquatic monster or beastie, and the human mermaid, which resembles a demi-human or nymph.
Indeed, that's the simplest way to describe it anyhow. Assuming the mermaids in question had a name, formed relationships with humans, and granted longevity, it stands to reason it was one of the human mermaid variety.
You have a point. The mermaids we've encountered thus far have all been caught in nets and appear to be more like fish mermaids.
Seems more likely then that the mermaids who grant longevity are actually these human mermaids.
Honestly, Irina, you've got ages. We've got a while before we get to the next campaign. So don't worry about getting it over and done with too quickly. Me and Junie just have our characters pre-done, because we both decided that it would be funny to have our characters related to each other. So that's why ours are already everything done for them. Because it works better that way for us too, to have everything pre-planned. But you don't need to pre-plan anything. I didn't pre-plan anything for Ree. I just rolled up with her and was like, this is an overpowered character, actually. This character is actually mega overpowered. Oh no. My word, would this mean that one could become immortal without eating their flesh?
Not sure, but there are countless legends that reference the need to consume their flesh. But I can't help but feel that there's more to it.
So maybe you need to eat their flesh and something else?
If human mermaids are capable of communicating with us, I'd really like to speak with one.
Agreed. Speaking of which, this is entirely unrelated, but there's something I'm wondering. Do you mind?
What? But our conversation was just getting good.
Protest all you like, but I shall ask anyways. On our way here, I noticed a certain something adorning the entrances to everyone's houses. What was that?
Alright, those are Somin Shorai talismans.
Somin Shorai?
Yes, although in most of Japan they're usually hung up around Lunar New Year, but here in the Ise Toba-shima region, they're traditionally left up all year long.
Interesting.
Can add more detailed information to the files for you later.
What is it? What is it? No, you're making me antsy. We've come all this way to a distant foreign land seeking mermaids. Of course I have my own reasons for trying to locate mythical creatures, but for now I intend to scour this land in order to learn as much as I can about its lore and legends. But it occurs to me that I've never actually explained the particulars of my Ise Bay mermaid excursion to the girl. No matter, it's nothing of consequence really, so I'll just introduce my reasons a bit at a time. That is Osato brought up again. What are Somin Shorai? Because they feel important because they were brought up randomly. Talisman inscribed with the character Somin Shorai Season, descendant of Somin Shorai. Salmons come in a variety of forms. Yeah. Placed on doorways to ward off illness. But these, in this particular area, they're kept up all year and only replaced at the beginning of the new year. Somin Shorai is also the name of a celestial figure in their religion. On New Year's Eve, the deity Gozu Tenno set out to court the Princess of Rigu. However, when night found, he found that none of the nearby inns had a spare room to offer him, and so he turned to two brothers who had lived by the sea for hospitality. The wealthy younger brother, Kotan Shorai, turned him away, despite having the means to accommodate him. The elder brother, Somin Shorai, welcomed Gozo Tunnel into his home even though he lived in poverty. Pleased by the simple yet heartfelt reception he had received, Gozo Tunnel rewarded this hospitality by sparing only Sorin Shomai from a plague that ravaged the area the next year. Ever since, it is said that a hanging wreath of miscanthus reeds and a charm declaring oneself as a descendant of Somin Shorai from one's waist will offer protection from plagues and illness. The tradition has survived to the present day, where such charms are now used as talismans for good luck and well-being. Question mark? Question? Question conspiracy theory, maybe not, maybe a thing, maybe not. Do we think that the mysterious plague could be the sword curse? Potentially. Or another curse that this Gozu Tenno could control, and he just used the curse on everyone but Somin Shorai. Also, we should have a look at my collection of birds. I haven't shown you the collection of birds. We have the Turninator, the Gullfather, Kiting Kilter, Booby Bravo, Maverick Manny, Lil Blue, Gulls and Roses, Fastlane Frigate. There's some pretty good birds. I appreciate the birds. I was wondering if she's seeing something. Oh, Marshall is such a good DM. He's so good. He's so good. I fucking love playing D&D with you guys. Come on, Cersei. You realised something about the Somin Shorai, didn't you? You must share.
No, nothing like that. It just made me think about how close this area is to the Eternal World.
Is it? What does that mean?
You already know that this from the files, but regarding Somin Shorai, its origin goes back to the legend of the deity Gozu Tenno, who was courting the Princess of Ryugu.
Ryugu, you say?
That's right, Ryugu is close to this place. In other words, the place is very close to the Eternal World. Yes, and furthermore, Gozu Tenno is also the guardian deity of the Gion Shoja Temple. The very same Gion Shoja who is mentioned in our good old friend Tale of Hike.
So it is. What is it again? From the bells of Gion Shoja echoes out the impertinence of all things, right? Sounds so cool that even I memorized it. I haven't got a clue what it means, though.
Yes, that's the one. As for its meaning, you can look it up yourself.
Fine, fine. For what you're saying is, Izushima is a land with deep ties to both Ryugu and Hike. And that is exactly why Somin Shorai tradition is so well established here.
That reminds me. There's something about Ryugu's princesses that keeps bothering me as well.
Well, it certainly is mysterious.
That reminds me about Futsumigara.
Dear me, how time flies while listening to lectures. Cersei, Sun's already gone down.
Suppose I got carried away, sorry.
Well, if that results in such a lovely view of the sea at night, I won't complain.
You're right, just look at all those stars.
Something odd is going to happen, right? But look, the heavens are turning enveloped in a shower of dazzling pinpricks of light. What a sight to behold. Would you happen to be versed in constellations, Cersei?
Well, I've dabbled a little bit in astrology, so I guess I know a thing or two.
Excellent, do tell. Oh,
But we really let time get away from us. Look how dark it's gotten.
well, the light from the stars above will be lost in the pitch darkness. I'm just, like, checking that I'm not... Like, I'm entirely convinced there's gonna be something that rocks up. Right? The music here is too, like, suspicious. It's suspicious music.
Well, if we consider the constellations you can see in Japan during summer. First one that comes to mind is the Summer Triangle. It can be an easy one to find.
Triangle, eh? Presume it's made up of 3 stars?
Correct. Vega in the constellation Lyra, Deneb in the constellation Cygnus, Altair in the constellation Akira.
I know all this because I named all my pets in Neopets after star constellations. And I was such a nerd. This is a fun fact about Pigeon. I named all my pets in both Neopets and in this game called Dappervoke after star constellations. And I tried to pick star constellations that were the animal that the Neopet slash Dappervoke pet was based on. Because Dappervoke especially, their pets are kind of like fantasy-ized versions of real animals. And so I would pick a constellation that is supposed to be either that animal or a concept related to it. And I would name the pets one of the stars from that constellation. Which I think is personally cute. That all my pets in the video game were named after specific things like that. I had a theme. Right, I'm looking at the ocean and I'm like, this would be a really good time to have that same curse from earlier rock up. I'm surprised it hasn't, because we saw it earlier. So Arena, you might not have seen this. At the very beginning of stream, I did the diving minigame again, and went to the edge of the map in the diving minigame. And at the edge of the map in the one specific area, you can see like a ghost rock up. And it was very scary, because it was very hard to see because it blended in with the background really well. But it was really creepy. And I'm like, this would be a very good time to have that thing show up again. Just in the ocean somewhere.
This trio of bright stars can be observed close to the Milky Way in this season.
What? I want to see. How do we go about identifying them?
Well, first, low in the southwest position of the sky, look up for a star that glows red, and notice of the Scorpio constellation.
Southwest, you say? From here, that would be facing inland, looking to the right.
Right, try to find a red star low in the sky and point to it.
Red star. Wait, I do believe I found it. The star just there, with the reddish tint. That must be Nereus, right?
Correct, that's indeed Antares, the brightest star in the Scorpio constellation.
Haha, found it all by myself. Why, I made quite the celestial cartographer, if I say so myself.
Hate to rain on your parade, but you were supposed to be looking for a star in the Summer Triangle, so please try again.
Yeah, that's right.
Wanna try looking side up from Antares? I bet you find Vega at the sky zenith. Give it a shot.
So... Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. There, that must be it.
Bingo! That's Vega, one of the 3 stars in the Summer Triangle. In Japan, Vega is also called the Orihime Star, and is famous for its connection to the Tamanasa Star Festival.
Then that must mean Hikoboshi will be on the opposite side of the Milky Way from that one.
Exactly right. Can you figure out which one it is?
One of the other stars in the Summer Triangle is in the same area, so see if...
So,
I started talking his voice, not his.
the other stars in the Summer Triangle is in the same area, so you should be able to find it.
They're getting us to look around a lot, and I'm suspicious about the looking around a lot. My eyes are discerning. I believe that to be the right one.
That's fine. That's Deneb, one of the 3 stars in the Summer Triangle. Deneb lies within the Milky Way, which owns its name the Milky Way Star.
For this one in Dapper Vogue, I did the mouse pet. Because it's also part of a mouse constellation, or like constellation related to... No. Actually, no. I think it's actually related to jars, because it was a jar mouse. Ah, it does appear to be swimming nicely among that starry stream.
Still another star in the Summer Triangle. Try to find it.
This one? The green one? Eureka! I've spotted it.
Oh, that's Altair, one of the 3 stars in the Summer Triangle. Part of the Aquila constellation.
The Aquila constellation is the Swan constellation, by the way. This one, I made a bird.
Altair is also known as Japan as the Hikoboshi for its role in the Tamanasa Star Festival.
Oh, that means I managed to spot both Orihime and Hikoboshi. As if I've drawn the 2 star-crossed lovers together with my own hand. How overjoyed they must be.
Nice leg. I didn't expect you to be such a romantic.
There, I've located all 3 stars in the Summer Triangle. How do you like that?
Good work. Now you've mastered the summer skies. Should I start addressing you as Professor?
That's me. Feel free to rely on my knowledge.
Then tell me another name for the star Hikoboshi.
Altair.
That's right. Well done, Professor.
Phew, I mean nothing of it. Regardless, we've all seen what there is to see here in Futomigara. You can go as far as to call this a wrap. I think that covers all the mermaid legends from Mie Prefecture. But is there anyone else you've been keen to visit, Cersei?
We haven't even visited Ise Shrine yet. If you ask me, we barely scratched the surface.
Ah, you've got a point there. But it's getting late, so let's save that for tomorrow, shall we?
Alright.
Still surprised that there wasn't anything there. That would have been like a very good moment to have something creepy. And I think that's probably why they didn't do it. Because they're like, it'd be too obvious. Right? They probably thought not to add anything creepy there because they were like, it's too obvious. Ise Province, Toba City. Wow, talk about a gorgeous view.
It's something, isn't it? Mount Asama's observation platform. It overlooks Toba City and Ise City on the other.
So that's Toba City over there, huh? What's Toba got going for it?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind when thinking about Toba is Toba Castle. Built in the Sengoku period by none other than the pirate Daimyo, Lord Kuki, who at the time led the Kuki naval fleet.
Oh, that's more exciting than I anticipated.
As for Toba-shima area, it's famous for having the highest population of amidivers in Japan.
Haha, I knew there'd be something touristy. What a fantastic blend of culture and history.
Apparently Mount Asama's peak sits at 555 meters above sea level, so it's not that high. But it's situated at the tip of Shima Peninsula and it offers a magnificent view of Toba and Bay's coastline and the outlying islands.
Since we stopped by the shrine this morning, I'm assuming we'll take the mountain path. All I can say is this place takes my breath away. Looking for bird. Looking for Bert. No. She's been packed and ready to venture forth since the early hours of this morning. Though myself, I beat her to the punch, having been too excited to sleep a wink all night. The city.
Over there you can see the city of Toba spread all along the coast. By the way, they tend to call this the Isashima region. But most of the time the term includes Toba as well, something to keep in mind.
So when I hear Isashima, I should also think Toba, eh? Good to know. Talk about armor divers.
Divers have a long history in the Tobashima region. Evidence indicates that freedivers have been fishing in the area since ancient times.
You don't say.
Most notably, it said that Oben, who once presented an abalone to Yamamoto Shimi no Mikido, was the first armor diver. In fact, there's a shrine dedicated to Oben in Kozaki that is considered sacred place to armor divers in the Tobashima region.
Is that so? This has been truly legendary.
Moreover, there are several poems in the famous 8th century poetry anthology Manshoyu that depict the armor diving of Shima province. Armor divers also appear in dozens of uneoi from the Edo period. Clearly, they were a popular theme.
Quite incredible to think that their method of fishing has not only endured so long, but has been recorded in such exquisite detail.
There's another point worth noting. Armor divers have long been linked to mermaids for their skill and grace. You could even argue that armor diver culture is so deeply rooted in this place, it's interwoven with the region's mermaid legends.
Yes, there's a theory that mermaids of the Ise Bay were simply armor divers.
It does seem likely that there's a connection between the two. I wouldn't be surprised if they are originators of the legend.
Perhaps, but I'd be beyond disappointed if that were all there was to it.
Alright. By the way, there's another legend surrounding the armor divers of the Tobashima region regarding something called the Tobokazuri.
The Tomokazuri. The thing that we saw at the very beginning of the game, in the hole.
It's believed that an armor diver may encounter a copy of herself underwater, who will then offer her an abalone. He accepts the Tomokazuri doppelganger will drag her to the bottom of the sea, never to be seen again.
Cersei, please don't spring scary stories on me out of nowhere.
That's why armor divers have this area where Simon and Dolman symbols on them while they dive. It's a tradition that's continued right up to the present day. There must be some reason for it beyond pure superstition.
Interesting.
On another note, the armor divers of the Tobashima region possess such exceptional diving skills that in addition to fishing, they also saved people from drowning and fetched objects that had sunk to the seafloor right up until the Meiji era.
Well, sounds as if they were true diving professionals.
Exactly. In fact, after the Hike were defeated, they were lost beneath the waves.
Oh, we're back to the Hike already. I wasn't aware there was a connection.
Well, after the fateful battle, who do you think they sent to reclaim the legendary sword Kuronaki no Suguri from the sea floor? 2 armor divers.
Aha, so the lost and found services were employed back then, huh?
And while they were diving, they came face to face with the vengeful spirits of the drowned Hike.
Cersei, please, you're gonna give me nightmares.
That's what depicted in the Uryoi entitled The Western Sea. The diving women encounter the Hike in the depths of the water.
Such a deep connection, to think the Hike even once depicted the armor divers. They truly are a symbol of the Ise-Shima region.
But the setting for that Uryoi no Dana Ure, which isn't anywhere near here. Still, it goes to show that armor divers have held a deep connection to the sea for a very long time.
There's no more to talk about.
And when we're talking about the Tobashima region, armor divers are always going to be co-players.
True. You asked me, they should be brought up more before the pirates.
And you, the Navy, held a crucial role to play too.
What about the Navy?
First off, you should know that the naval troops in the Sengoku period were basically just pirates.
Pirates, say?
Yes, they would put together troop crews of rowdy sailors, arm them to the teeth, and have them patrol a designated area of the sea. They only actually served under the commander of the naval force when there was a battle.
So that's what the Navy was like back then, A ragtag bunch of pirates only called on to do their duty in times of need.
Exactly. In fact, such forces only came to be called navies during the Edo period, and that was purely a matter of convenience. As for the Kukyu Navy, it was the one pirate bands patrolling the waters of Ise Bay. A man named Kukyu Yoshida was its commander, hence the name. He distinguished himself as in the service of Oda Nobunaga and Tsutomu Hideyoshi, eventually to the position of the daimyo of Shima province. And that's why they called him the Pirate Daimyo. He started as a lowly pirate, but rose all the way to the top of the chain in command.
Did you say Oda Nobunaga? Him? I've heard of him. He was the demon king of the sixth heaven, no?
True, but that's the title he gave himself.
Still a pirate and a daimyo. What an enchanting combination.
That may be, but he wasn't blessed where the allies were concerned. It seems he was always butting heads with his relatives.
Oh?
For one thing, he may have had his nephew Samitaka assassinated in order to take over the Kuki clan.
That feels important. That feels... That information in particular feels important somehow. If that happened near our main location, we've got to remember that the pirate had his nephew assassinated. If we find out at some point how the nephew was assassinated, and it matches up with one of the curses, we'll know that that's what caused that curse. Because that's how curses work in this game. Is that what they're capable of doing is the same way they died. So, So the samurai, so that means, remembering that means that the samurai ghost died being cut by a samurai. He's not just killing people because he's a samurai. He was killed like that too. And the fish ghost, I'm assuming that it's a fish ghost because the mermaids... That seems the most logical explanation, is the fish ghost is only the fish ghost because of the mermaids. Or something to do with being her body being turned into a mermaid post-death. Because that can be a thing with them as well. How their bodies look like, what happened to their bodies after they died can be affecting it.
He also bore on the opposite side of his own son, Morutaka, in the decisive battle of Shikihara. And in the end, sped on by his vassals, he committed suicide on Tojima, the island over there.
So while Kuki became daimyo of Shima province, the land was confiscated during his son's rule, and the clan fell into decline. Actually, it might be the pirate himself is the curse. Because listening to that there, if you committed seppuku, it could be that that's what's happening to everyone who the curse... No, because of all the victims of... No, the victims aren't all female though. No, we know for a fact not all of the victims are female. Because the skeletons were killed by this guy too. Or by that curse too. And at least one of the skeletons that we know of is a man. So I was going to say, if it only kills women, that probably means that it was a woman. Or did something to a woman. That ended up with them killing themselves and that, or something. But no. We know at least one of the skeletons dug up from that trench was a man. So it can't have been. It can't have been what I was thinking, that it was No, it's either the nephew or the pirate. The nephew is making the most sense at the moment for who the curse is, or was originally. So I'm trying to figure this out, because a good way to dispel curses in this game, to my knowledge based on the previous game, is to know what started the curse. Yeah, they're basically cut in half, so not seppuku. Well, no, seppuku is being... You do cut yourself in half with seppuku. Seppuku, you stab your sword all the way through yourself and then drag it across, so you are basically cutting yourself in half. Because they're not being cut in half, actually, like, fully cut in half. They're being basically cut in half, which is different. They're being, like, almost cut in half. But not fully. And that would line up with seppuku, but it would only line up with seppuku if it was to the gut only, because the way to commit seppuku is to stab yourself in the stomach area and drag it across so that your guts spill out. And that's not really what's happening to the islanders, so I don't think it is seppuku. So the nephew's assassination seems the most likely candidate at the moment. So we're narrowing it down. We're narrowing it down, and once we figure out why and how he died, there'll be more of a chance of me figuring out what I have to do to stop it. Because that's going to be the main plot point of this, is going to be to stop all three curses, I think. Because I think, we're going to get rid of the sword curse and stop whatever's doing the sword curse from killing everyone on the island. And then after that, the fish curse will probably happen and start turning everyone into fish. And then we'll have to find a way to stop the fish curse. And then I think it's going to be the sea curse. And we'll have to find the final way to stop that. Because I think it's going to be one curse and then another curse and then another curse. And we're going to basically have to keep going backwards and forwards in time to stop them from doing whatever they do. That's my going theory for how this game's going to go.
So while Kuki became a daimyo of Shima province, this land was confiscated during his son's rule, and the town fell into decline.
Well, not all of them were cut diagonally. Because we saw the guy at the end, Yuzu had his head cut off, which isn't the same as how his grandma died. And then some of the bodies we also saw were cut from behind, and some of them were cut from in front. And the cuts weren't all, like, in the same place. So I don't know if that's relevant as much as it is the fact that whoever it was killed via sword. Because we don't know how they didn't tell us how the skeletons were cut. Whoever's doing it, though, I don't know when Pity Boy's going to show up. It's not going to be in this chapter because they haven't even met the psychics yet. Life is truly full of ups and downs. How the mighty fall. He must have been quite the character.
That reminds me, there's another fascinating legend related to the Kuki clan.
Oh, do tell.
It's about Kuki Yoshida's nephew, Samitara. He had an extraordinarily beautiful daughter named Princess Hatsune.
Hasune Miku. Hasune Miku. I'm joking. Hasune is actually a name outside of Hasune Miku. But I do think Miku every time. I do in fact think Miku every single time I hear that name. I don't say I know where this is going. Whatever a legend starts with a beautiful daughter and inevitably ends in trouble.
You're not wrong there.
This is also probably going to be important.
Princess Hatsune was so beautiful that she sent no end of suitors, and that her father sought to marry her off to achieve his political ends. But the princess already had a lover, so she fought against her father's plans, even ran away several times, only to be brought home.
I knew it. Alas, what it was like for the daughters of powerful figures in those days.
While Princess Hatsune lamented her fate, must I be cursed with such a misfortune merely for my beauty? And she didn't stop there. May no beautiful daughter be born to this land again. Such was the curse she left behind, before throwing herself down a well. And so ends the legend.
Maybe there's going to be more curses. Because that doesn't sound like any of the curses we've talked about. Or seen so far. So maybe there's going to be more than 3 curses involved here. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if there's going to be more than 3 curses. The original game obviously had 9. Because this sounds really like something that will be brought up later. Starts with a beautiful blue-haired internet idol. End with throwdown well. The unholy combination of Sadako and Hatsune Sadako. Actually, that would be sick-ass art. I might draw that, actually. Hatsune Sadako is a sick-ass idea, and I might actually draw that. Not what I'd call a happy ending. The princess may have had good intentions, but I'm sure no one else felt she was doing them any favours.
Good intentions? That isn't how I interpreted it.
Well, what's your take on the story, then?
When authority figures try to force other people's hands, they bring these things upon themselves. It's just asking to get cursed.
Fair enough, I see your point.
Still, the princess did take it a bit far. To me, though, it almost feels like that part was tacked on later. As if someone thought they would make a good story more impactful, and that word of it would travel further if the princess killed herself at the end.
Oh, if you're right, I would change the story completely.
But there is something else that interests me more. Sumitani became the head of the Kuki clan in 1560, but he was so young that Yoshitaka had to be appointed as his guardian. His exact age at the time isn't known, but the common belief is that he was about 8 years old.
Nothing unusual there. Premature inheritances were a common occurrence in those days.
But consider this. When Sumitaka died at 24 years later, in 1584, he would have been 32 years old.
Yes.
Even if we suppose that Princess Hatsune was 15, their ages don't quite add up, do they?
Age differences weren't so much of a point of contention back then, but even so, that is a bit odd.
Which begins the question, did Princess Hatsune even exist to begin with?
And even if she did, was she really Sumitaka's daughter?
An agate mantanma was unearthed at the place where the princess was supposedly buried. But it could have easily been planted there to create credibility to the tale.
Well, once you start doubting, it's harder to see lies everywhere.
True, and the pursuit of the unknown starts with belief, doesn't it?
Well said.
A certain occult researcher taught me that one.
You don't say. So maybe it wasn't his daughter. If the story is true, perhaps it's not his daughter. Perhaps it's his fiancée, and she didn't want to marry him. That would be my guess. If it's that the story of the daughter isn't real because the ages don't match up, maybe it was his fiancée or his wife. We'll probably learn about it later. It feels like that's going to be important.
Oh, I just realized something. Kuki Sumitata died or was assassinated exactly 400 years ago.
Is that significant?
It is. A special spiritual significance is attached to the periods of 400 years. For instance, the cycle of death and rebirth supposedly lasts 400 years, and some stories claim that a soul endures for 400 years. Of course, 800 years of mortals are twice that lifespan, but as you can see, 400 years is widely considered a good cutoff point.
So there's a chance something happens after 400 years.
Maybe. In any case, we should probably tread carefully here.
Sounds to me as if we're in the right place at the right time. Right, well, as fascinating as all this has been, Cersei, I'd say it's high time we return to our primary topic of interest here.
Oh, and what would that be? Personally, now that we visited the Ise Shrine, I'm more or less satisfied.
Tut tut. Cersei, you disappoint me. We didn't come here purely to chase legends, did we?
Oh, and I was hoping we could move on to buying souvenirs next.
You know perfectly well the true purpose of my voyage is nothing more and less than a treasure hunt.
Right.
Of course, I'm all sure this information we've been gathering will come in handy as well. First things first, let's head back to the inn. From there, we can plan our next move. Why are they looking at us? Right? Chat, is this not odd? Nobody else in the entire game has looked at us. Like, nobody has looked directly at the camera. And now we have both of them looking directly at the camera here. Right? I'm not the only one that's thinking this is odd. It might be nothing. Like, this might not be this might be nothing. But I think it's really odd that both of them are staring directly at the player character, quote unquote. Like, they're staring at the camera. Directly. And not each other. That's weird. That's really weird. Are we a physical spirit or something? That was kind of a fourth wall break, right? So now we can do either of those two. I think I'm gonna go back and try and do this 2,000. Get the 2,000 points. Just to wind down for the next half an hour or so. If that's okay with everyone else. Just to wind down. I've never had that happen before. Okay. Well, we're not getting the 2,000 points this time. We're not getting the 2,000 points this time. Yeah. I don't think he has a camera though, because it's the 80s. Well, no, I guess cameras were a thing, but not like a camera you carry around like that. We got nowhere near 2,000. Okay, we're gonna have to try harder. I just want to get the 2,000 points. Because I'm entirely sure that it's easier for me to do this. Yeah, no pretty boy this time. We just didn't unlock anything to do with him today. He just wanders around. We've been dealing with Indiana Jones motherfucker all day. I don't know how many points that is. I don't know how many points we managed to get there. Ooh, we're so close. We're so close. Damn. We might be able to do it. I feel like we can do it if I put enough effort. I think I can't focus on abalone. Okay. I think that's maybe good enough. No, Mort, you're completely fair with that. You're completely fair for that. He is a very attractive character. We did it! We did it! We did it. I'm gonna go do the thing. It was over here. Resume. Start from Lighthouse. Seems like a good idea. I'm gonna skip through all this. Because we've seen all this. I'm just hoping to get back to that one screen. Actually, no, it might be easier to... It might be easier to actually go here. Restart. Go here. I'm still sus about this guy. I don't trust this guy. Because why is he blabbing about the raging waves? I mostly just want to go here. Blah 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 blah. Worrying news, blah 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 blah. I wish it was easier to... Well, no, it's not too hard to skip through everything. I'm just lazy. It's not too hard to skip through everything. I want to find her. Here she is. Because she has something to give us if we get 2,000 points. Well, isn't that great, user? What was your high score today? Let's see. I think it was 2,066 and 8 points. Sure did. It's amazing, user. Guess you found yourself a prize. Here you can take a rare bird sticker I found while diving the other day. There we go. I was entirely sure that this was going to be it. You lucky dog. I didn't think you'd get a new mockingbird sticker so soon. Looks like a rare one too. Really? Nice. That's all I wanted to do. That's all I wanted to do. All I wanted was to get the bird sticker. Oh, also to show chat this. There's a thing, and it has sick music. Yeah, they made a mockingbird relationship chart, and I need you all to see it. And there's a key down here as well. Orange means they're best friends. Pink means in love. Red means they don't like each other. And blue is question mark. They also all have, like, stuff about them. This is the one we just picked up. Albatross Boss. The Gull Father. Gull and Roses. God, this is so good. This is so funny. I fucking love this part of the game. I'm waiting for more Yumeko stuff to rock up though. I feel like I achieved that way too quickly. I was hoping that that would take longer. But I feel like if I start another one of these, they're gonna take too long. We might be able to call it a day for tonight. Let me save. There we go. Yeah, Mockingbird polycule chart. We'll finish on the Mockingbird polycule chart. We'll finish on the Mockingbird polycule chart. Who can we raid into tonight? Who do I have that is streaming? Let's raid Elwyn. I haven't raided Elwyn in fucking ages because she's never streaming when I'm done. But because I've been doing extra long raids. I know, Mort, I love this too, but I've got to finish tonight. I've been playing for 4 hours. It's been 4 hours. We've been going for 4 hours. That's a double length stream for me. I'll probably continue tomorrow. Like, I'll probably put Ace Attorney off until I have finished this game. If I'm completely honest. Because while I'm loving Ace Attorney 2, I have been waiting for this game for a long time. So, like, I will probably play this another double length stream tomorrow. So another 4 hours tomorrow. It's so good though. I've been enjoying this so fucking much. And even just the like fun collectibles stuff like this has been like really enjoyable. Damn. Damn, this is a good game so far. Like, it's nowhere near as scary as the first one. The first one is a lot scarier straight away. But I'm thinking maybe it's just that the build-up for this one's going to be longer. Hopefully, because I don't even think we're halfway through yet. I think that was literally the tutorial. Right, we're running out now. I've been Pigeon Wishes, your resident Pigeon Fae from the UK, and I hope everyone has a good night. Ta-ra!